Hey everybody. Man, it's been an eventful day to say the least. Um had a bunch of stuff, going on. How the levels going? I'm not talking too loud, right? I'm not blowing your eardrums off, right? Yeah, all good. Bunch of stuff going on, man. Today it's been busy. And hold on, in my frustration with how today has been going, so in my frustration with how the day has been going, just found out one of my favorite off-season pieces has been traded. Y'all know just about um, every trade scenario. Every trade scenario I did this offseason and finalized roster piece or finalized roster projection included this kid, Robert Covington. So I just found out just before I opened the mic up that Robert Covington has been traded to the Portland Trailblazers. So this morning, I was thinking, yeah, well, if the stuff with Westbrook falls through, we can at least trade the 8 and a young piece to New Orleans for Drew Holiday. And so I'm wrong on that front also. So let me hold on for a second, y'all, because one of the homies just hit me up. It's the homie Nick G. Y'all remember Nick G? The dude that looked like the dude from How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My Caribbean half brother. So let me hit him up real quick. But yo, anyways, I a day in. Yo, okay. Yo, what's up, Steven? What's good? And look who is in the building. Yo, come on. Hey. All right, talking about where's my invite. I shouldn't have to explain this no more. You know, you got a lifetime contract, no paperwork. For what that mean, for people, what that mean is we not good for the moment, we good for life. That's what that mean. When I say that to certain people, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't just say that. That's not just a saying. That's the biz. That's how we work. Like you establish a relationship with somebody and they halfway care for you. And
Yo,
then
man, the Knicks are sleeping, man.
I know this.
I want Robert Covington.
I know this. I know
this.
this.
And then now the thread's telling me that Randall's better than Covington. I'm like, get out of here.
Oh my God.
I was like, get out of here. You guys are telling me that he sucks.
Man, you already know how you know how I felt about this offseason anyway. I don't believe there is such a thing as a center and a power forward no more. In today's NBA, there's no such thing as a center and a power forward. Why do we need a center and a power forward? Why keep two dinosaurs? Just keep one. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna keep Randall, move him to center and get three and D wings. I've been saying it all summer. You know, not that I'm right. I'm saying that is what I believe. You know, and getting a Robert Covington would have only made our team better.
Mm-hmm. So. He could play the 4 and the 3. He could shoot threes. He plays defense, and people are telling me that he's worse than Randall.
They are bugging.
Get out of here.
They are bugging. I know this. I know this, man.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, why won't I was like, oh, if I was the Knicks, I would give them Randall, the 27th pick, and the 2023 Mavs pick. And people were like, why are you giving away 2 first-round picks? I'm like, it's the 27th pick in the shitty draft.
Right.
And then a 2023 Mavs pick that's probably not going to be good because Luka's probably going to be taking over the league by then.
Right.
and they're like bugging out.
Hey, so the New York Knicks, man, and I think I'm hoping Bodega Wi-Fi is in the building. All right, Bodega Wi-Fi is in the building. The New York Knicks is in the building. I was just chopping it up on Instagram, with the new Knicks, right? I hope I'm saying it right. I'll be trying to say it right? And he created a logo. Did y'all see Did you get a chance to see the thumbnail
For what?
for this episode of the Knicks at Night podcast?
Let me see the shit.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
What's up, boss?
Yo, what's up, man?
Those things.
Yo, the Knicks are sleeping, man. Why haven't we made a move yet?
Things are starting to pop off. I seen Houston offered Harden a $50 million a year extension, and he turned it down. Then they're just after they traded Robert Covington to Portland for 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
Drew Holiday.
I wanted Robert Covington to come with
yeah, but I
come
think
with Westbrook.
that's going to be crazy to me that they can get 2 first-round picks for Covington, but they're not even going to get 1 first-round pick for Westbrook. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, and then
They might.
Drew Holiday's going to
the new Knicks.
To be honest.
I keep butchering it, man. I'm not butchering it on purpose. I'm sorry about that. Hey, Teddy Ted, what's good? Yeah, man. Hey, so I was sent a couple of logos, man, and you can probably see them on Sportscaster. Those are fire. And it kind of when I saw it, I was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about growing our community. Like people think it's just all about like some random dude named Uncle Freezy, but it ain't. It's just like what I'm trying to do is take this community that we have scattered all over the place and bring it together, and then that way we can have like one big Knicks community that's, you know what I'm saying, that's comparable to what other dudes do when they spend all their money. Like I don't want y'all to spend no money on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes like, you know, pay guests to come on and all that stuff. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? My preference would be like have a bunch of the neighborhood dudes come on and talk that noise. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, yo, I'm telling you, the low temp in my mind, as soon as I saw him, like basically like the night owl, you know what I'm saying? Like the night owl logo, like the wolf hollering at the moon and the Knicks logo in the back. Yo,
that'd be nice.
That is not. Hey, it's done. It's already up on Sportscaster. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna have that be the thumbnail and the logo for the Knicks for the Knicks at Night podcast, and then that way it just won't be a random thumbnail that y'all see.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Things are starting to pop now. Small deals are starting to pop. That Chris Paul deal's crazy. Suns gave up a lot for Paul.
Right.
They gave up quite a bit. They gave up, was it a first round pick and then a lot of young players.
Yeah. I'm concerned that the Knicks hadn't done anything yet.
To me, that doesn't concern me because I think with the Westbrook situation, I think the Rockets are going to try and get as much out of it. That could be one of the later deals done. But I'm surprised they haven't moved Randall yet. I don't know, will they move Randall on draft night or what?
Right.
But I know Randall be on the move. I don't see him staying.
It makes me nervous, man, because if a deal was in place already, my man should have already been gone. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you knew you was moving them all off season. You knew you was moving them for 9 months. And then then as soon as you get the chance to do something, you hadn't done anything. It makes me nervous.
Yeah. See, the Randall thing, I think they might, if someone that they like starts to fall in the mid first round, then they might move him, try and package Randall in 27 to go up. I'm thinking that's what they might try and do. But yeah, I'm kind of concerned too that they haven't moved him yet. I don't see the point of bringing Randall back this year.
Yeah. Someone saying is poking me already. The Bears lost again. I think that's like 4 in a row.
Oh, you guys are playing tonight, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. And we were out there playing like a team with a flat tire.
Yeah.
So
Now the Giants
yeah.
are starting to pick things up a little bit. That's 2 wins on a
My
row.
Giants, baby.
We're starting to get it. We can make the playoffs with like going 6-10 or something. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I
that
know.
division.
Yep.
But
Hey, so Michael Jones said he can see Westbrook and Gordon Hayward on the Knicks. I can see that too. I think that's the direction we're going. I think we're Westbrook, Gordon Hayward, and Jeremy Grant. I don't think we'll be able to.
You can't sign Jeremy Grant. You can't sign Jeremy Grant if you take both of those two.
Why not?
Yeah. See, the thing is,
because Westbrook makes 41 mil, and then Gordon Hayward makes like 30 something mil. That's 70 mil, 2 players.
Yeah.
And then you have RJ, you have Mitch, you have all the other kids.
Right, but you don't have to do a complete absorption of Westbrook's contract. You can trade them.
Even then, you're still gonna.
Even then,
you're gonna have to trade like. Left. Yeah, you don't have that much cap space left after the Westbrook.
I don't know if I'm in on Hayward. I think they're gonna have to get. If I want to take Hayward's contract, that they're gonna have to give us at least 2 first-round picks.
But the Rockets don't have
about Hayward. I don't like Hayward.
Oh, you mean the Celtics? Okay.
Yeah, the Celtics. They'd have to give us at least a 26th and 30th pick. So I don't see, and I think he wants to go to Indiana. I think he's going to either opt out of his deal or it's going to be a sign and trade to Indiana. So I don't see, and I think he wants to go to
Indiana. Right. Right, and we have up to 70 million in projected space, but remember, Julius Randle is not included in that space. So if you add him, that's 89 mil, and then if you add cats like Frank Ntilikina and DSJ, Kevin Knox, and those deal with their first round contracts, you'll generate another 20 mil. So you're talking about. I
just don't see them. I think they're going to keep Frank, and then they're going to keep Knox for another year until the deadline. Randle will be gone. If there's any trade for Westbrook, Randle will be in that deal. But I'm kind of disappointed because I was hoping to see if we get Westbrook that we get Covington, but now he's gone.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have liked to see him. He would have been a nice stretch 4. That guy plays an elite defense.
Yep, he's an all-NBA defender.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Portland gave up a lot for him. Think about was it Trevor Reeves and 2 first-round picks.
Oh, yeah, right. You got some breaking news.
What we got? Something else?
Drew Holiday got traded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it was
traded the Bucks.
Oh,
that was my secret play. This morning I got on Twitter and mentioned that you can give
Mark Stein. Here we go. The last 2 weeks have been filled with chatter that Giannis Antetokounmpo indeed plans to sign his 5-year supermax with the Bucks before December 21st. So I don't want to hear that 2021 bullshit free agent talk anymore.
I'm not even
Giannis to the Knicks. We can't be waiting for these guys anymore.
The thing about Giannis is we went through this shit with KD and Kyrie. I'm like, until Giannis signs the paper, I'm not believing any of it. I think he signed an extension. If they get deep in or get to at least to the Eastern Conference Finals, he's going to re-sign.
But that's what I've been saying to y'all the whole time. It's like, why are we wishing on a star with these cats instead of giving Houston a bunch of garbage and getting Westbrook? Because we're not going to get Giannis. We're not going to get AD. We're not going to get LeBron. We're not going to get KD. We have to get in this mindset where they're not coming. You know what I'm saying? We have to acquire a star by trade. You know what I'm saying? And there's a star out there whose market value is super low right now. And so we can trade basically nothing to get Westbrook.
Yeah, we're not going to give up much for nothing for Westbrook. Giannis, I think we still have the cap room if we have Westbrook and Giannis next year. We still have the cap space. I think we're due to have over 40 million. And then I seen too, was it the Rockets aren't willing to trade Harden to Brooklyn if Kyrie isn't in the deal. They want if they're giving Harden up to Brooklyn, they want Kyrie back. So I don't think they're going to do that deal. Harden's going to probably
they ain't getting no. Yeah, they ain't getting. They are not getting Kyrie. They may as well.
Yeah,
they may as well.
They're not going to trade Harden unless they get Kyrie. They said so. Which
Well,
to me is only fair. I don't want to see Brooklyn go and get Harden because I'm like that's not fair. There should be a limit on each team should only have room for only allow 2 max deals instead of
That's the whole point of having a salary cap.
right.
But like, I don't care about that because like if the Knicks were doing that in that position to do that, I'm like, oh, go ahead, go get those stars.
I don't see it working.
Yeah, see the thing is with me is I don't know if I'd want.
Who cares? Who cares? If it doesn't work, good for that. Good for us. Because
yeah. Yeah, because I don't see Kyrie and Harden working out. KD's a different story. He doesn't need the ball as much. But then you have Kyrie and Harden need the ball to be effective.
Right.
it'd be interesting to watch though, because when they played together in Team USA, that was entertaining.
It's crazy. It's like video games.
Yeah, like they could definitely play together, like, but whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
it's like 2K.
Yeah,
I'm like when them getting those at KD, Kyrie, and Harden. That's too much. You might as well call it a championship right there if it works.
Hey, so I
upset.
wanted to say something real quick before we get too deep into the basketball stuff. So I don't know if everybody saw that I posted a logo, 2 logos that the homie fixed up for us, and I think they super dope. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a couple of T-shirts made with the logo on it. Yeah. And what I want to do is once the channel gets to 500 subscribers, I want to give away a T-shirt and a hat, the logos on it, because I think the joint is so dope. And our concept is so dope. And our concept, it just grew organically. Like I didn't sit down or go to no firm or nothing like that and think about Knicks at night. What I just thought about was you know what I'm saying, all the homies getting together and just talking about the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, just everybody doing their opinion, you know what I'm saying. So what I wanted to do, since it's growing organically, like, you know, it's growing like wildfire. Like I get so many DMs just about the Knicks at night joint, right? Yeah. People are just like, oh, how do I get on and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, just listen, you know, I send the previews out, man. Just come on the show. And a lot of them are intimidated and nervous just about the show. Like they hear Art chopping people's heads off, and I'm like, yo,
I'm not that mean. I'm not.
No, but I'm telling them, it's like, yo, Art's a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? And they hear Teddy come on and talk with like his expertise. They like, this dude must be like full time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, who Teddy? He's a regular dude like us. I mean, no disrespect. No, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying he's just a Knicks fan like us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We are going to let you know if you're saying something out of line. And it ain't going to be crazy, but it's just going to be like, you know, out of fun. You know, it ain't like, you know, we're trying to belittle anybody or anything like that.
Right. But you know what, though? But to that same point, we want to keep it 10 times 10 when we get on here. Like, if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't stay. And we don't mean that in no disrespectful way, but you know, we trying to put out quality content to the people that's you know what I'm saying, that's following us. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't just gonna come on and for whack takes or whatever. But I say that to say this. If we can get it up to 500 subscribers, maybe we can do a raffle and give away like a snapback and a T-shirt or something with the logo on it. And if y'all want something with the logo on it, something like that, man, just let me know. Like hit me up, because I think it'd be dope just to see, you know what I'm saying, seeing people wearing stuff and promoting this thing, because it's not just about Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? It's about Knicks fans finally get a chance to be heard. You know, because for the most part, the national media, all they know about is Knicks fans is that we wear bags on our heads and we boo, or we get kicked out the Garden. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know how smart we are as a fan base. You know what I'm saying? And how passionate we are and all that stuff. You know, so saying all that, I'm going to try to push this thing to get 500. I want to get to 800 subs before the end of the year. But once we get to 500 subs, I think I'm going to do a giveaway and just send people, send like a random fan or maybe the 500 subscriber or something. Want to send that person somebody, you know what I'm saying, some type of appreciation gift. So that's just something to think about for everybody that follow. Just make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Try to get us up to like 500, 800 subs. I want to be up to 800 subs by the end of the year because that shows growth. And the reason why 800 is the target number is because I see random Knicks fans and contributors on YouTube that have their channels, their videos doing like 27,000, 35,000, and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Like this young dude was talking about how Frank Ntilikina, how the Knicks don't need a point guard, how Frank Ntilikina is the point guard of the future, and how they just need Knicks fans just need to be patient. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a Knicks fan,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but if you're a Knicks fan, you know it's time out for being patient. We've been patient forever. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to start winning, turning that corner. So I want to kind of get it out there where at least 800. If we get 800 subs, that means every time we go live, 800 people will know that we're live and we talking about the Knicks and such, and we can, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and start talking common sense Knicks. You know what I mean? So, but y'all do like that logo though, right? That logo, man, that logo is so dope in my opinion. That logo, both logos, the night one and the day one. So there's a day one, right, with the white background on it. To me, that's dope. And the night one with the light blue background on it. To me, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, you know, really strongly getting some swag made up maybe in the next month or so. I'm not for sure because I'm selling cars and doing house repairs at the same time, so I got a little money tied up in little personal stuff. But but as a whole, but you know, once I'm able to wiggle free, you know, so I want to start sending out some stuff in appreciation for the people that show up and believe in this concept because it's something that's totally new. Usually you see a moderator and maybe one guest and maybe like phone lines or something be open, or it's just all videos, you know what I'm saying, where nobody gets a chance to say anything. But this right here, the open concept thing, to me, I think is probably the best thing going. And people know that too, so, by the way, because I see some others that are looking to do the open concept thing with a lot of Knicks contributors too. So we'll work on that and see if we can, you know, work on that and see how that works for us. Hey, what's up, Raphael?
Hey, Ralph was bugging earlier.
Really? About what?
We need to tank to 2025, and the fans don't want to get free agents. Oh, he was on one earlier.
I'm sick of this tank movie, man.
Next thing it's going to be 2030. Oh, let's time for this guy.
Yeah. Oh, Bronny James.
Yeah, Bronny James.
No, man.
We're gonna get freaking RJ's son by then.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett's son.
So that's my worry. RJ, when that comes to the end of that qualifying offer, if he ain't winning games, he's gonna want out, and then send Mitch next year.
Right.
Hey, can we talk about it right quick? I don't think nobody wants Russ.
I don't care what anybody wants.
I haven't seen
really don't think he has a market. I think he literally doesn't have a market.
He has no.
That's
market.
Good for us.
That's
for
why
the
I
Knicks.
think it's going to take a little while for that trade to go through because Houston going to try and get a market, try and get something for.
I think they're going to try to trade Harden first and try to get as much as they can out of Harden first before they trade Russ.
You know they're cleaning house. They were desperate today, trying to offer him like a 2-year, $50 million a year offer, like extension.
Yeah, he declined it.
He declined it. So, and then they went out and traded Robert Covington, and they got picks for that. So, I think they're trying to clear house.
Damn, I really want to see who Harden gets traded for though, like because
they got. I think
they could get Simmons
for everybody. I need LeVert. I need Dinwiddie. I think they're gonna literally fleece him for everybody.
Or from the Sixers. Or from the Sixers, like they can probably get Embiid or
give up Ben Simmons for him.
I think they're gonna give a Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson.
Yeah, the Sixers have a better package.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Houston wants Kyrie in that deal, and Brooklyn told him no. So that I don't think that's going to go through. I don't think Dinwiddie, LeVert, and a couple of
I
picks.
don't think that's worth Harden. Like,
I think they're gonna take Joe Harris and everything. I think it's gonna be a big package like
they'll have to do a
CP3
sign and
deal.
trade with Joe Harris. But the thing is, what happens now if one of them guys get injured? They have no bench. They're gonna have no bench anyway. We're giving it up because all their money's gonna be tied up.
Yep.
Because you have KD's on around 40 million, Kyrie's around 40 million, and then bringing on Harden around 40 million. I'm like, that's over the cap.
Yeah, you called it.
Right.
I don't see Brooklyn doing it. I think it's just I think a lot of this stuff we put out smoke screens trying to get his market up.
Really?
I think he scored 36 points last season. I mean, points per game last season. I think
he's a market, but see, a lot of teams don't want to take on this salary because of a lot of teams are going broke.
Yep. And this is another thing. Harden being disrespectful for real. Like we throw you the bag and you told us no. They're gonna try to suck everything dry from Brooklyn.
$50 million a year, 2-year extension, $50 million would have been the highest paid player in NBA history.
First player in the NBA history.
Yeah, and they told him nah.
I won't be surprised if he turn back and take it though.
If they turn around and say, okay, we're gonna trade you to, I don't know, say Toronto or something, he'd be like, all right, pay me. But I think he's probably going to go to Philly. I see just them getting better.
I'm about to say he's going to Philly. I think he's going to go to Philly.
Hey, but you
and everything.
You know what? I think the bigger point here, and I think we kind of glossed over it. I'm not going to say we missed it, but I think we kind of glossed over it. The fact that superstars look at Houston now as a grease fire and want to get the hell out of there only points to how bad the Knicks have been over the years. Like, think about this: the making $50 million a year in Houston, in a place where you don't even have to change anything. You already live there. You've been an all-star there. You've been an MVP there, right?
He owns that.
Right, but the thing is though, is because there ain't all that stuff is the same based on the money he made previously. So even if they offer him more money, that just means he gets more money on the other end. But my point is, if your organization is viewed to be a grease fire, the dollar amount does not matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. Like Houston legit now looks like an unstable franchise, and two former MVPs want to get the hell out of town that fast. Like Daryl Morey leaves. D'Antoni leaves, and two former league MVPs see that, and they want to get the hell out of town because it makes it look like the Houston Rockets organization is unstable. Whether it is or not is something that we don't know yet, but the transition may have been clumsy, and now you see stars not wanting to be there, and so that only highlights the fact of the Knicks being an unstable franchise over the years, not attracting the MVP. It's not a Knicks thing. It's an unstable franchise thing. And so when you look at the Knicks now, we have the opportunity to trade for Westbrook, and he's not even complaining. Like, he hadn't even been in the media saying, I don't want to go to New York as a grease fire, you know what I'm saying, or sending word through his people. You know what I'm saying? That just lets me know that our organization is cleaning up and heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Not only that, it's like he suits New York. He's just built for it. Like, over another with Knicks Weekly with Sim, they were talking about him and they were saying, like, look, it's no matter, people don't like the style of play. He just has that fire and that grittiness for New York. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just that dog in him that it works perfect for the Knicks. Right. And there's not a lot of players can do it. Like, we've seen players come in and fail because they can't handle it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think he come in, and for 3 years he'll just come in, let him dominate, and he can bring us to the playoffs. After 3 years of the playoffs, it shows stability, and then people might want to come. So
yeah, you gotta show that you're serious about winning. You can't be a losing franchise and expect somebody to come.
I hope we don't. I hope we're not stupid and we just don't get it. We think too much about the money. Because I don't know if Leo Rose, if he'd start thinking.
It's a 3-year contract. Like, by then, like, if everything works out, you should be a better team. Like,
honestly, if we don't get Westbrook, it's going to say a lot about this organization that we're not playing games. We're focused on the future. We don't need no quick fix. We want players that are going to at least be best for our system. And high IQ players, not to knock Westbrook, but high IQ players.
But then they hired the wrong coach, because Thibodeau's 60 years of age. He has no time to sit around and rebuild for 5 years. He wants to come in and he wants to win now.
Every coach wants to do that.
He wants a winning, competitive playoff team. That's what he wants.
This is Leon Rose's first rodeo. He's not gonna pull up Steve Mills. Like, we didn't hire a new GM to have Steve Mills.
He's gonna let him at least work 4 years.
Yeah, I hope so. I have to see it to believe it.
A complete dumpster fire where, like, he just stuck in his ways. You know, he ain't adjusted to the new times. But I don't see Tibbs doing that. I actually think he's a fan of the game.
Yeah, he wants to win. But then the team.
That's why I don't see him. I don't see us like just staying put and rolling out the same roster as last year.
Yeah. No. Oh God, that'd be pointless. Like, we seen how that was. It was a log jam. Space.
Wow! Did y'all see what Bodega Wi-Fi just posted?
What? NBA PHI said players accepted 30 space stuff.
Ooh. So a 30% loss in revenue spaced out over the next 3 years. So he's saying a 30% revenue loss this year, stretched out over the next 3 years.
Actually, that's not bad because they get fans coming in.
Fans will eventually come back. So.
Yeah, if the fans start coming back, because I was just reading something where Golden State's time again 50% of their fans.
Yeah.
That's a big. If we get 50% into the stands, New York ain't gonna do it. New York's the worst, but every other city that can do that.
Right.
Well, the Knicks play better without their fans.
Okay, we haven't even got to see it yet. We haven't even got to see it yet.
Yeah, we got to see it.
They didn't get to play in the bubble.
Last year we couldn't win it. We couldn't buy a game at home. We were winning on the road.
Right.
For some reason,
man, we ain't winning anything. We won freaking how many games? 38 games in the past 2 years. We didn't win anything.
I was happy to see Jeremy Grant decline.
He's going back. He's gonna get more money.
I don't think Denver's gonna be able to afford him for real. I think
no, they will.
I kind of hope not.
Hey, Joe.
They're competent. They're not gonna let him go.
FJG92003 said he can barely hear you.
Oh, okay.
He said that in the Sportscaster chat.
Okay.
I'm not for sure what that is. If you on your phone, man, I guess that's the best we can get. But just wanted to let you. Hey, can y'all see the comments? Are y'all able to read the comments?
I only see the YouTube ones. I only see the YouTube ones.
No, I'm on YouTube.
Sportscaster, for some reason, I can't put it on mute.
Oh, okay. Matter
of fact, I can hop on my phone. Matter of fact, I'll do that.
No, you good. I mean, it's in terms of volume and all that, man. You've been pretty good. So
I just like to read the comments for real while I'm going. People in the chat be having me so weak.
Yeah, and so I'm using software that allows me to see both chats at the same time.
Okay.
So yeah,
I need to talk to you after this too. I gotta hit you up in your DMs and talk to you about something.
Chats at the same time. All right.
That's the guy I wanted to see right there.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to talk to you. What's up, Tony? I gotta talk to my guy Tony.
That's the guy I wanted to see right there.
Hold on. Let me turn the thing off.
Who's that going in?
All right, we good?
Hey, Ralph was talking mad greasy earlier.
Go ahead, carry on. I'm gonna let you speak and then I go speak.
Oh, man.
You're right. Go ahead.
New York fans don't want free agents. We just want to tank to 2025. Even though we got
he's right though.
See, tell him. I don't even know the other guy's name. What's his name?
You just call me Art.
Art. Tell him. All right, tell him.
Yeah, like if you go, me and Freeze are in this thread, right? Mm-hmm. We have 48 strong. not counting me and Freezy. Like if you say any star, oh yo, let's try to get blah blah blah. They're like, no, we're good. We're good. He's not good. They'll just start slandering that star.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's not good enough. He can't do this. He can't do that. I'm like, but you're telling me that RJ's the next coming of like James Harden, but like Russell Westbrook's not good enough.
You want to tank for 4 years until RJ get ready.
And they did.
Hold on. I want Teddy to listen to all of this right now.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. I haven't even started. We're gonna let Art go first.
They legit think the Houston Rockets should give us a draft pick.
Yup.
For Russell Westbrook.
Same thing is being said about CP3 too. Right. But carry on how Knicks fans really don't want it. They really don't care if the Knicks make the playoffs or not.
No.
It's not important. It's
this guy said it. Knicks fans are damaged.
Yeah, some y'all sound like battered exes.
But I'm learning just like Art is listening, and just like Freeze is learning that this Knicks fan base right now to talk Russell Westbrook. Look, me and you, we chopped it up about Russell Westbrook. We had good conversations about Russell. We had Gordon Hayward. You can't do that. And talk to Art right now and talk to Freezy. They will tell you. The Knicks fan base, when you step outside of this world, the Knicks fan base, they don't want none of that.
Knicks Twitter is the worst, worst place ever.
All right, am I right or wrong? Free agent talk is dead. It's out the window. Yes or no? All right.
It's true. It's very true.
So I'm just putting that in perspective. I was trying to keep. So earlier, we were trying to have a Russell Westbrook talk. In that other show, Nothing But Knicks, shout out to Sim and everybody. And I'm trying to tell them, y'all gonna have to dead that this fan base right here that we're working with, they don't want that.
Yeah,
they don't want that.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. And the thing is that they don't care about playoff experience anymore. See, we grew up like, you know what? Let's get our, we see Jason Tatum in the playoffs. We see Mike Conley, we see Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, and we want to do right by RJ, right? We want RJ to be in the playoffs. But this current fan base right now, like Art is telling you, listen, they are more into let's just hold on to RJ, just like Phoenix Suns held on to Devin Booker. Let's keep tanking. And
that's not true, dude.
It is true. You're in the thread. You're in the thick, Guillermo.
I'm glad somebody got my back.
Listen. You
keep saying this in the NBK chats that all y'all Knicks fans, because people.
I said it because I'm recognizing
that assets for a guy like Russell Westbrook.
But they're not having
the assets.
With that, it has everything to do with the Knicks fans right now. Want to be like the Phoenix Suns.
That's worse. They want to be Charlotte.
No. They want to be like the Phoenix Suns. Look, the Knicks fan base right now. They want to be like the Phoenix Suns. They want to hold on to RJ, pay him $30 million when his contract is up. Keep tanking, be in the lottery. And keep taking chances on the draft.
I have been in the hold on. I've been in the MBK chat.
It's everywhere.
I get to see people outside of joking around. At least for the
NBA. It's not a joke.
In my chats, I have yet to see people keep saying, let's keep tanking. You have a very myopic view, right? If people don't want to trade for Russell Westbrook, they want to keep tanking. No, there's gray between, right? I said, if you don't give up a lot of assets for him, I'll take Russell Westbrook. But again, as a Knicks fan who's grown up seeing the team give away assets for guys who are supposed to be stars, Antonio McNice comes to mind. Traded Nene for him. Yes, Nene wasn't a super duper star. He would have been a good front court guy after his cancer diagnosis and all that stuff. He would have been great for our front court, right? We got rid of picks that ended up being LaMarcus Aldridge, beating up Jamal Murray, and then what Knicks fans say?
That's disrespectful to Russell Westbrook, though. You're putting him in that category.
You guys are listening.
Guillermo loves the organic. He loves the organic.
Let him finish his point. Hold on, let him finish his point. Go ahead, Guillermo.
I do not mind having Russell Westbrook if we're not giving up a lot of assets for him. Because Russell Westbrook is not a cornerstone piece for the Knicks. But again, I don't want Frank and DSJ as our point guards. There is great people. But you keep going on an MBK, you come on my chat, you keep saying, yo, y'all Knicks fans just want to keep tanking. And literally, I'm looking at my chat, and I don't see people saying, now people like Frank, whatever. But I don't see people like, yo, Frank and DSJ, man, they're going to lead us to the promised land, man. Like, yo, we got to keep tanking. Like,
have you seen the thread? Guillermo, have you seen the thread? We invited you to the thread.
Other Knicks fans want to be tanking.
In Sim's chat, there was a guy coming on and saying, "Oh, we need to be in the high end of the lottery for the next 5 years."
Oh, I just the people I see May 4th and those people, they don't say that shit. And these are people who do like Frank. And for the people I know, Siobhan, Isaiah, all those people, I haven't seen. So if I missed
even Raw Hebrew,
he's coming every time. I've seen him coming for the past few days. Salute to God and Moses Elijah. I have it's all love, but he's really been coming in chat saying, "Yo, y'all just want to tank. Y'all just if anybody." I do not like
so let me hear the point that Raphael is saying. Hey, I just want to hear it from Raphael. Just to make sure.
And even shout out to all the other Knicks channels, but even Raw Hebrew, Remac, he's very hesitant.
Raphael, listen. Hey, let me say something though, real quick. Hey, man. Hey, shout out to the Knicks at Night podcast of all the organic dudes that come in here and talk that noise with swagger and venom and class. I want to shout out the other contributors too. But the thing about this one is we different in the fact that we all come in with our different angles and stuff, right. And we are all committed to each other growing the Knicks at Night podcast. And I don't mind, shouting out the other, hey, I hope they grow and become whoever it is that they want to be. But the Knicks at Night podcast, man, is dope in my opinion. I don't do this. I don't. Right. And so I don't do this because it builds me up. I mean, I have other personal stuff that I'm proud of that I do outside of this. You know what I'm saying? But this right here is one of those things that just grew up from nothing. You know what I'm saying? This right here is just
Freezy, but I want you to be wearing a shirt and tie. I want some respect for Harry Carson. Where's the shirt and tie, man?
Hey, man.
Freezy for having Harry Carson, man. That was a good.
Let me know when I can talk so I can make my point real quick.
I don't know how he got Freezy also for that mic too. That mic is tough, man. Freezy's upgrading. He got the Ethernet in. The internet is working.
Yeah,
He got the mic, yo. This shit is tough, yo.
Freezy coming together,
man. Yeah, man.
Can I make my point?
Hey, but it's because of y'all. Like I wouldn't invest a dime in nothing if y'all wasn't here so we can have fun doing it. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? To me, the whole joint is fun. Like us coming on at like this weird ass hour of the day. You know what I'm saying? When sane people are sleeping, getting ready for their jobs, we coming in here at night, going for each other's neck, and it's out of love.
Yo, Freezy, I'm going to go at this guy's neck right now. I'm busy right now. Freezy, let me go at this guy's neck right now.
You're not doing it.
I know that. To interject right here, though, Raphael is even though we go on the other shows, I want to shout them out and all that stuff too. But you know what? People should be shouting out Raphael for coming on the Knicks at Night podcast.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm getting at. Like showing love to everybody else, and they ain't quite there. But this right here. Dude, I get people hit me up all the time about how dope this is, and this is like the thing that fills in the gap, like between all the big boys and stuff. I legit, and I appreciate that. And it's not because I wasn't smart enough to create something. All of this just happened to come together. You know what I'm saying? So even though we shout out others, make sure you shout yourself out. Make sure when you go, yo, this is Raphael. I'll be on the Knicks at Night podcast, and y'all come check us out.
Freezy's gonna do it.
All right. So anyway, so look.
Funny, man.
Look.
Hey, Raphael straight blew me off. You see how Raphael blew me off?
I can give me no choice. I mean, I gotta make Guillermo, look. So
he want to get back to this so bad.
So anyway, shout out to Raw Hebrew, who's making great content, right? Mm-hmm. But and I'm a big fan of his shows, and I agree in a lot. But he has I believe he has the right point of view with what a lot of Knicks fans want, which is more draft picks in this draft and to sign players, to trade players. Look, I personally wanted to make the playoffs, but when I see everybody complaining, and not willing to throw a draft pick for any player, because there was times that even Freezy tries to make a trade for Zach LaVine, and the thought to say, hey, I'll trade a draft pick for Zach LaVine, and it looks like he's about to get stoned to death. Just saying I will trade a draft pick for Zach LaVine. Even for saying I'll throw a draft pick for CP3. Right now, people are crazy for draft picks, and the only thing you can say about draft picks is I want more draft picks. And they don't really care if you win. They don't really care if you lose. So that means if you don't really care if you're winning, or if you don't care if you're losing, and all the thing that matters is that you get more draft picks, what does that mean? That means that you still want to be where you're at. And good luck in this year's lottery.
You have a very myopic view. You came on yesterday on the show, right? And as soon as people were talking about the Westbrook trade or possibly Westbrook trade, you ran into y'all don't want to win, y'all want to lose, y'all want to get draft picks. Now, I don't know.
Not yesterday.
You see what I mean? Yeah. From the majority of Knicks,
I was with you about CP3. I was with you.
For the majority of people, I'm getting to your points. For the majority of people that I've seen outside of the Twitter thread, because I don't read everything in that ridiculous Twitter thread. But outside of that,
how dare you? How dare you?
Talking to it said, "Yo, this draft is weak. I don't even want to do the trade for the Celtics draft because the 14 value from 8 to 14 is a big drop off, and then the 26 and 30 are almost useless." I've heard people say, and I even said with a CP3 trade, I would give up a 27.
I got you. But I'm not necessarily talking about
hold on, because that's value. So again, what you're doing is that you get emotional of the fact that people don't just want to do a head first trade for Westbrook. And the thing about is that out there, I'm gonna put, because I remember you came at me for the whole you came at me for the MPJ thing, right? So it started from that. I know where your feelings are. You wouldn't even get off the point when I said, you know what, I actually would not mind doing a trade of Bradley Beal for MPJ. I would not mind doing it. You were like, oh, but you said it's like dogs. Get over that fucking point. I already just told you I would do that. So you have a very myopic view that, oh, they don't, it's like dogs.
No. I think you're missing what I'm trying to say.
Conversational. Again, we're talking about who like this. Bradley Beal's a good player, right? He's playing on a shit team.
But we're not talking about Bradley Beal.
But his ceiling, offensive ceiling, is high when healthy, right? We're all, and I know Rick Ward was here, and Rick Ward's a guy. He just wants stats and numbers. That's him. That's stupid to me. But if you want to go that way, that's fine. But I cannot take a guy like Bradley Beal. You can't just take pieces.
I don't want to get into Bradley Beal. Let's do
the same kind of production. If you put Bradley Beal on a team like the Nuggets, he's not scoring 30 points a night. He's not having a high use. He may be effective, but you don't know how effective he's going to be.
Bradley Beal, I think I could get back to
Westbrook played on the Knicks. Has Westbrook played on a team as bad as the Knicks? Ever in his life has he played on a team?
I'm not. Look, I know that you would want a CP3 or a Westbrook. I understood that yesterday, so I'm not really throwing that at you. I'm not even talking directly at Art. Gets my picture that I'm not even that I'm talking about. There's not just because it's not just a me. When I was talking about that the Knicks want to continue to tank, it wasn't a me-you conversation or me at nothing but Knicks conversation. It was me talking about other people outside of us that they don't want free agents.
Playoffs. Yeah, they don't want to improve.
It wasn't a direct shot at you or at Sim or anybody at nothing but Knicks, because I have those conversations. I had that conversation to you yesterday. So yes, you are right about yesterday, and not me. You and I and Isaiah understood that. Hey, listen, Russell. What CP3, if we can get a CP3, absolutely. And I said, I agree with you and I support you all the way, Guillermo, when you said yes for CP3. But the thing is, it's more than us, because it's more than us. There's other people that watch our show and watch other Knicks show that don't really want to make the playoffs. They really don't care if we win or lose. They want more picks and they want more draft picks. So this is that had nothing to do with your and I.
I'm not just saying this with me, but I'm saying your overall outlook, right? First of all, in most of these chats, right? Even in my so-called chat, whatever, right? You're gonna have people who just give extreme. You have people who just troll, right? Like, I'm not focusing.
I don't think that's a troll.
Hold on. I'm not focusing on people or idiots who just say, y'all want to kill your Frank, blah, blah, blah. Like, even me, I used to joke around like, nah, come on, don't trade Frank, that's my guy. But I knew, it's like, dogs, he's not that good. Like, he should not be a star
It's
point.
not a troll, but right now, what's going on? It's not a troll.
Literally, when it's like, you did it yesterday. I'm telling you, you have a thing where it's like,
you and I could do
Westbrook, those picks, like, oh, they don't, it's like, dogs. There is even the people who may be like, yo, I don't want to trade Westbrook. People want to just keep draft picks and do the whole process.
You have a great point. You have a great point because a lot of people don't want to make any trades, and it's very difficult to try to make a trade with the fan base that really does not care about.
No. It doesn't. No. The fan base doesn't mean shit. It's the front office. If the front office wants to make a trade, they're gonna make a trade. You don't have to convince it. This is the same Knicks people that they booed KP at the draft, and KP became a darling for the time he played. So up to the front office.
Good point there. That's a great point. That's a great point.
And then they traded him.
You have extreme fans in everything. You have extreme fans with Jets, with the Mets, Manchester United. You have weird fans who say, "Oh, we want to."
Excellent point. You got a good point there, Guillermo. You got me great.
I've heard even the most trollingest motherfuckers say, "This is not a draft to be acquiring picks. This is a draft to keep your picks and try to draft as high as possible." So even it's like, why would I listen to the fray of people who just want to tank? Fuck them. Who cares? Let's move on to the people who even look. I just feel like from yesterday, it just seems like, and not just you, it's other people too. Like, oh, y'all don't want to win. Like, look,
you start listening, and you start listening to a lot of people saying that. Listen, we don't really care about no CP3. We don't really care about no winning. We just
Guillermo, there's legit people that think that the best move is for the Knicks to tank for this 2021 draft.
They're dying for that.
No, there's legit, like, there's a lot of people.
I'm not saying you guys are saying that, but again, next year, I'm not banking on a Cade Cunningham as much as I would like him. I'm not banking on
these guys don't dropping
next year.
Right now.
The thing with me with the Knicks is that I want a foundation. I want it to be where we actually build a foundation, where we build an identity. Are we going to have RJ Barrett as a slasher? What are we doing with RJ? What are we doing?
How are we going to build an identity if we're losing all the time, though? Like, you can't
That's
be
what they want right now. They are dying.
Sorry, say it again.
You can't establish an identity if you're losing all the time.
Argument.
If you draft, and this is just me saying this, right? So I'm just making use of example. I know this the guy that I want, right? So, but say you draft a Vassell, right?
Yeah.
Now you have a identity that you're going to have at least you could say you have a identity where you want to build defense from the backcourt and have guys who can shoot from the backcourt, a bona fide two guard who can shoot and he can defend as well. And you build with defense, you build with getting turnovers, or build transition offense. Him, RJ, whichever point guard you get. Maybe you draft a point guard who's offensively minded as well. Maybe you draft a Kerry Lewis, so you have that speed, you have that defense. You know, Kerry Lewis is not the greatest defender, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You can do it, but you can still be losing. But you could be on the way building it, and you can get free agents. You can get the guys. Now, how you find these free agents is going to matter. You got to sign these guys. You got identity without going for broke. And as soon as I'm not saying we lose, I'm hoping we get to the playoffs. But you have an identity where you're slowly building. Say the Knicks get to 35 wins next year. With a team.
Like people want to make pretend like the Warriors, they just drafted players, but like they didn't. Like they traded for David Lee, they traded for Andrew Bogut, then they made the playoffs and signed Iguodala.
But Andrew Bogut fit a purpose on that team. What was he? He was their rim protector, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had got. This is the thing about it.
Yeah, but like even the Knicks have legit.
Hold on, but when the Knicks are signing guys, they have to sign. They also gave up Monte Ellis, so it wasn't as if we're just acquiring talent.
Yeah, I know,
they had a vision with what they wanted to build. They went more small ball, obviously, with Kerr there. With Jackson, obviously, brought Bogut, blah, blah, and him and Bogut didn't have the best relationship. But you obviously brought Bogut to be a rim protector, right? The Knicks for years have not brought in free agents that fit a vision. We brought in Randall because he was literally
because we have Mills,
right? We brought in Portis, who we overpaid him $15 million, and he really didn't. What was his true purpose? To be the shoot from the perimeter? We don't really have a vision. So it's also up to the front office to make smart decisions and not sign guys to 1-year deals where they're not playing for the team or system. They're playing for their own stats, and they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You can do it. You can do it.
I see you, man. I see you. My mouse just died. I don't know what's going on. So I see you, Joe.
Freezy, what do you have to say to that? Freezy, what do you have to say to that? Am I wrong with the fan base that a lot of people right now don't want any veterans in this roster? They don't want free agency.
No. I think so. What my point is to both is I think both of y'all right. I think the thing is though is we keep reiterating the same thing over and over, thinking that our point is going to be more right than it was when we said it the first time. I mean, you said there was a fan base of people out there that think a certain way. I am?
Yeah, it's a little staticky.
Okay.
Your mic.
All right.
Yeah,
let me do it.
Make sure it's plugged in, man. That's still a nice mic, though. That thing is beautiful. Man.
Shout out to Bodega Wi-Fi. He's saying half the fan base does not want to even sign anybody in free agency.
Dude, I'm just sick. I'm sick of like people saying like,
yeah, it's like a thing.
These players aren't good enough for the Knicks. Like, I could be like, yo, freaking Luka is available, and then they would be like, yo, he doesn't play defense. We don't want him. We don't want him. Hurt too much. Yeah, like I'm like, yo, what the
stop? People will tell you stop trying to bring veterans in this roster. Let's keep our rosters as is. Let's keep building from the roster up. Let's keep drafting players. Let's try to get more draft picks instead of trying to get players in free agency. That's what's going on right now.
I agree.
I've seen more Knicks fans. This is what I'm saying.
Man, that's becoming.
Oh no, I didn't even get to say the point. I've seen more Knicks fans, especially throughout the years, where I've seen them say, "Yo, bring in this guy, bring in this free agent, bring in this free agent." So it's like, and I've seen more people complain that, "Yo, the Knicks just want to bring this." It's like, I don't know what. Look, I'm not saying what you're saying is not correct or true. I believe it is, but it's like, I think you're focusing on those guys who just don't want to. Like, why even get worked up over them? It's like, okay, you don't want to do that. But if we get
the problem with Ralph,
with a guy like
the problem with your debate, Ralph, is that we was all in on Kevin Durant and Kyrie coming here.
Yeah,
like
I didn't see anybody saying not to get them. So it's like you're literally picking a subset of people, right? And you can say they have the wrong idea or whatever, right? You're picking a subset of people that, again, do not represent – I don't think they represent the majority because, again, like he just said, when KD and Kyrie, everybody was like, yo, tweeting this, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't as if we don't want – and literally it happened yesterday. I'm just saying with you, with the Westbrook thing, as soon as Westbrook came up, people were like, I don't want to trade this for him. He's not a smart player, blah, blah. It's – now I'm going to look for the fan base that doesn't want – it's like, no, you're just looking for – it's like a what's it called? Like confirmation bias, is that the word? Where it's like you just want people to confirm – that aspect that look, if the Knicks get into
they were hating on everything
talking about, if Westbrook comes to the Knicks and again to the playoffs, the same people that you were just talking about, they'll be the same people saying, I'm happy the Knicks are in the playoffs. Trust. So why even pay attention to them?
You might be right. You might be right on that.
When we got to the players of Melo, of course I'm cheering for the team to win. Now, how Melo came over here was more so why I was mad. But you can put me in that box. I guess I didn't want the Melo trade to happen the way it did, where now he doesn't have those weapons, or at least some assets that he might be able to grow with. I want him coming next year because we weren't going to win that year anyway. We weren't going to do anything, so there's no point of training for him. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, we're on the right now. I just saw Ooch just got into a tidbit with State, who salutes to State of New York podcast, but the dude is mentally. He can go mentally off and just like it's aggravating, but you don't fall into the matrix of.
Do thinks Randall's better than Robert Covington?
Yeah, he's better than Robert Covington, and I think they're trying to validate with how much they're paid. But it's like, well, Robert Covington for what he does, and yes, he didn't have a good shooting year last year, but he was more effective in his role than whatever role Randall.
He gives you all NBA defense and spreads the floor.
Right, it's like, all right,
perfect player in today's NBA.
Randall got overpaid by a non-contender who will always have to overpay for talent. Versus Covington, I believe he got paid by who? The Sixers initially, was it?
I think it might have been the Timberwolves.
Wow.
It's one of those two, though.
It might have been right. And those teams, Timberwolves at the time, I'm pretty sure they were contenders at the time, right? Because they had
they did that
1 year, right? So they paid him what, 12? What's his contract?
12 mil a year. 12 mil a year. Yep.
So yeah, look, it is what it is, man. They're Knicks fans who just look, Frank.
But it's
DSJ's DSJ. The Knicks.
We don't need to talk about them.
And they're gonna tell you those guys suck. When other people tell you your guys suck, that means something. Not to say that they're always right, but we just have we've had such shit front office decision making, such shit players. You can't. It's like we have to properly clean up, right? And I'm not saying tank. You can clean up and improve the team at the same time, but we have to get rid of DSJ. We got to get rid of Frank if they don't perform. We got to get rid of Knox if he doesn't perform.
Yep.
But then on the flip side, to their point, there are a lot of players that have not gotten really any coaching whatsoever. And it's a crapshoot. Yes. Are there players that do well without any type of special coaching? Obviously. But let's just see what we have. I agree with Rick Warren that he's like, yo, let's see what we have. We can't trade for good assets now. Trade them by the trade deadline if they don't vastly improve. Right?
Yeah.
Look,
I want to say one thing real quick. Just like you and just like Sam, I think CP3 would have been a great asset to this team.
Absolutely.
He would have been a great asset. He would have been a great leader. But I just feel like, not you guys, but there are other people. It's just when
there's people even that shitting on CP3.
When I listen to other people, because maybe I think I watched that show after watching some other channels, and you hear it. You just hear that. I'm glad we don't got CP3. Thank God.
Hey, Ralph, the better question is, do you want Westbrook?
I'm with it. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I want to go to the playoffs. You can't have RJ not in the play. Whatever is best. Look, I'm either okay with RJ or if we draft Tyrese Halliburton, LaMelo, any point guard that is good, suitable enough that can get us to the playoffs. Killian Hayes, if it's RJ Hampton, if it's Mike Conley for a year who has only 1 year in his contract. And we can, or we have Mike Conley and we get Killian Hayes, or Mike Conley and we get RJ Hampton, whatever it is, or Kira Lewis. I forgot I left him behind. But absolutely, I want RJ to be in the playoffs. But I just felt like I just feel right now, there's a huge Phoenix Suns mentality with the fan base where they just don't mind. They feel that swinging for the fences is being in the lottery and drafting and copying the Phoenix Suns blueprint. The Phoenix Suns blueprint. Like there's a huge statement.
No, it's worse. They want to be the Hornets.
They want to be the Hornets.
Was it really a tank? Because with the Phoenix Suns, they tried like 5 or 6, 7 coaches, or 5 or 6 coaches, to try to unlock Devin Booker. Now,
even though Devin Booker was already unlocked,
they had the number 3 pick of Josh Jackson, right? You don't pick a Josh Jackson in a year where I believe they still had
They could have drafted De'Aaron Fox.
Right? But okay, if the mentality is to tank, right? I mean, then you pick a Josh Jackson. But I think they legit thought Josh Jackson was a good player. That's just bad decision making. The Phoenix Suns mentality was that instead of trying to get guys around Booker to bring out his game and take him off the ball because they saw how good offensive he was, their mentality was like, let's try to make Booker the super duper star and let him lead us. I don't know I don't know any Suns fans, but every time I heard about the Suns, like I did a little research when they had that coach with the weird name.
Freaking I know who you're talking about. The guy who coached.
He came from Stotts' coaching tree because he tried to implement like the flare system, the fist motion flare, with the Suns, and it didn't work. Partially because they really only had Devin Booker, but they didn't have the pieces to make it work. So again, I just think that when you have mismatches or just bad decision by a front office, that doesn't mean you tank. That just means they suck. So the Phoenix Suns,
they want to tank now. They want to copy the blueprint of the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns drafted DeAndre Ayton. The Phoenix Suns also drafted in 2018, and then they also drafted Mikal Bridges. They also drafted they always have.
They didn't draft Mikal Bridges. They traded for him.
Right, they traded. They traded for Mikal Bridges.
Where's the tank? If I'm saying Zaire Smith has more than 14 games in his NBA career, how is me bringing over Mikal Bridges, drafting a guy like DeAndre Ayton, who's the best
Knicks fans wants to be the 76ers for trust the process.
That's what I'm trying to explain. But it wasn't easy for me to explain
that. Use the Sixers, but the Suns, I don't think were tanking. They still suck.
Yeah, they just sucked.
It was a bad organization.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean,
they also traded for Uber.
It's been rumored that they've been tanking for a long time with Devin Booker, and that they all they do is tank. So 18.
The Hawks tank a lot too.
Right. So anyway,
they're not tanking now, right? The Suns aren't tanking now because they gave up all those.
Yeah, the Suns aren't tanking now with CP3.
Suns
No way.
be like contenders
now they're not. It's possibly about now they're not.
They also traded for Uber.
They were tanking for at least 4 or 5 years, I believe. Since Devin Booker got there, they held on to Devin Booker. 16 tanking, 17, 18, 9. Look, they drafted number 3. They drafted number 1, and
they tanked for a while though. They did like they tanked for 8.
So wait, when did they start? Because I mean, they drafted Josh Jackson. Is that tanking, or is that because they suck?
I think that was tanking.
No, it's tanking. And the year before they drafted Dragan Bender.
Josh Jackson
number 3 in tanking.
You could pick a De'Aaron Fox, who I don't know. Well, he could probably play with Booker.
Well, if you turn back the clock, at that time, Josh Jackson was like a top prospect. It was not like it was not like they knew he was like this idiot. Like marijuana.
That means they're not tank. At least those guys, when you have the number 3 pick, it's like, all right, let me just trade the number 3 pick for you.
If you got the 3 and the number 1, that's a tank year. They got the number 3 pick in 2017, and they got the number 1 pick in 18. That's
what I'm saying. All right, the point is that the better example is probably the Sixers, who are blatantly.
The Knicks, but the Knicks are
let me jump in. Let me jump in right here, man, because I think what we're talking about right now is semantics. Hey, is my mic okay, everybody?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Okay.
It's glowing.
But I wanted to say that.
So Raphael, hold on. What I was gonna say is what you talking about is semantics, man. I mean, if we're talking about just a sliver of a fan base wanting to do a certain thing, it's not how the entire fan base thinks about the direction of the Knicks. And secondly, the Phoenix Suns, like, we can't compare ourselves to teams that get the number 1 pick. The Knicks never get the number 1 pick. It frustrates me that we always say we want to be the Sixers. Well, you know what? The Sixers got the number 1 pick twice. So we want to get we want to be like the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns got the number 1 pick.
But they're trying.
The New York Knicks never get the number 1 pick. I'm just talking facts. Now, I'm not speculating. What I'm saying is when we compare ourselves to other franchises, we need to compare ourselves to a franchise that has been in line with the same struggles that we have had. And when you look for that franchise, you can't find them because nobody is in our situation where you make the most money in the NBA, but you constantly put out the least amount of wins in the NBA, plus free agents don't want to come to your spot. So it's a tough situation. And then we rarely draft in the top 2. Can y'all remember when the last time the Knicks drafted in the top 2?
Nope.
No.
Patrick Ewing.
So comparing us to the Lakers is not really an accurate comparison because the Lakers drafted number 2 3 years in a row, and the 4th year they drafted 4th. You know what I'm saying?
But the Knicks fans want to be like the Suns. That's what they want. They don't want to be.
You can't say Knicks fans want to be like the Suns, but it's only a small sliver of Knicks fans that think that way.
Yeah,
it's not the entire fan base. You got 5 other people.
Okay, that's not an entire fan base. That's wrong for me to say that. There's half of the fan base wants to be like the Phoenix Suns, I believe. And
but
is that a fair assessment?
Who gives a shit? If we win, If we
I think
win,
that's about. I'm glad you said that.
what Knick fan if we got to the playoffs next year, right, with Westbrook, right? What Knick fan is gonna be like? Nah, man, this is some bullshit, man. Yo, we should have tanked. We should have. Dog, you're in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
The only time
a lot of this new age,
Knicks got to the
a lot of the
playoffs,
new age
it
fans
didn't mean shit. Was that 2004 season? Where we were like, how many games were low 500? We got swept by the Nets. That playoffs. Not to say I didn't want to be in the playoffs, but I was like, man, we ain't gonna do shit in this playoffs. But other than that, literally, who cares what a subset of fans think if we win it? Just care about your perspective.
Yeah.
What we should do as a Knick team, you put your perspective out there. People are going to agree with you and disagree. You see how it plays out, and then you can make an assessment and be like, hey, the team did this. I agree with the team did this. I didn't agree with it. They should do this. Who gives a fuck? There are people who literally praise Frank. Bro, you know what's funny? Do you remember French Knick podcast?
Yep.
This guy, maybe I don't know if God came on. Was it there at the time? But God, this dude used to literally, when I wasn't on, I literally criticized Frank one time because of the summer league. I said that he should have played in summer league with those guys instead of going to Fred. I think he should have played both, right? That's just me, right?
Oh yeah. I think I remember.
Going to people on MBK, like he'll come on, insult me, like legit, like yo.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about outside of my name. So if I saw him, I'm a break.
Oh wow.
That type
do it.
of that
No,
because
that's not cool.
bro, and God, I asked Freezy. I used to give Frank Ntilikina all the excuses.
I know you do. I mean, I still see you praising him right now, even now.
I don't praise him. I used to give him.
I'm kidding. But I know.
He's coming at my neck. It's like, but why would I give a guy like that?
I don't know what. I remember something vague.
French Knicks podcast or something.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
This dude insult me. Gilmore's a bitch. I'm like, yo,
Yo, like that guy.
But
that's what I'm saying.
I apologize if I spoke like I was trying to throw jabs about that. That that part I feel bad about that.
They saying the Bucks
like
about Bogdanovich
taking shots at you guys about tanking. It was more about the other fan base that I'm sorry
making moves.
No, but God, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying that there are people that they
but I kind of did it wrong, bro. I kind of
You're never going to convince a subset of people who love Frank religiously. Like there are people who, if you say anything bad about Frank, you're an idiot. You're this. I'm like, dogs. What the heck? Exactly. See, Woodshed, French Knicks podcast blocked him. Yeah, they're crazy people.
Yo, I remember during the FIBA, right? He would always say these quotes. I doubt he was quoting them because like it was in French, right? It was in French, so he was pretend he was translating it, and all the quotes were like French players talking shit about the Knicks. I'm like, nobody asks about the Knicks. Like they're not gonna all of a sudden be like, "Yo,
no." But
he said he knew because when Mark got all pissed about the whole KP thing, he said he had insider access to the agents of like KP or whatever. About how they messed up the Luka. That Luka could have came to the Knicks if they traded for him and traded a draft for him. All that. So I'm like, who the hell is French Knicks podcast to have any connection to anybody at point NBA? That's what I'm talking about. God, you have people who are legit crazy.
Gotcha. Here's my thing. I feel bad that Art recognizes what I'm talking about, but he handled it better. Me, I kind of went to the Nothing But Knicks show. Started telling everybody, hey, listen, man, don't Knicks fans are hating on any trade possible. It's not a good conversation to have because, just like Art sees the situation that people don't want nobody in free agency. So I should have just kept my composure and be like, you know what, let me ignore them and.
I'm sorry, God.
Let me do something real quick. So we have a Lakers fan. In the chat trying to get some attention. Hey, Lakers fan, I see you out there. Yellow fella. I see you out there trying to get some love from Knicks fans. We see you, yellow fella. Hey, your comments are super dope. I just want to give you credit on being a C+ level.
That's what I feel bad about. Like I don't want
Yo, listen. So it's a Lakers fan in the chat, and y'all just letting them ride. And it's like 50 of us out here, and yellow fella strolls in. And is trolling. I think he called Teddy like the lead singer, the Boys and Men lead singer. Did y'all see that?
He's talking about Ralph.
Hey,
No, I think
he called me Uncle Phil. That's the first time I've been called Uncle Phil. that was cute. Hey, that was mad cute just now.
You do look like Uncle Phil, but that's in a good way. Uncle Phil, salute to Uncle Phil. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Hey, yellow fella, we ain't gonna dish you. We want you to come back. Just step your troll game up, like you step your comments up. I know the Lakers don't really have nothing to talk about right now. The Knicks fans, we stick together, bro. We stick together like candy. You know what I'm saying? It's a mafia out here of Knicks fans. We die hard. You know what I'm saying? We not champagne sipping. We ain't none of that, dog. We real. So come back to the show, man. If you want to talk some basketball, come on. You know what I'm saying? We're welcoming you to the Knicks at Night Family Podcast.
Yo, what did
Milwaukee? I don't think any Knicks fans sip any champagne, man. We all down bottom and we're all pieces of shit, man. There's we've been so downtrodden for years. We don't really have any bougie sedity type of stance to take. But that Laker fan, you talking about Lakers, man? Y'all the most artificial. No, I take that back. The most artificial fans I've seen in my life in recent years have been the Heat fans, man.
Yeah. Heat not even from LA. That's what's so crazy.
You said what?
I went to Staples Center for Kobe's last game against the Knicks, and I was like, "Yo, you guys are so soft now. You guys are cheering for every little thing. Like they make like a layup. They're like, yeah. I'm like,
I'm telling you, man, the Heat were the worst one.
It was such a sick game, though. Calderon hit a game winner.
Who?
But Jose Calderon hit a game winner against the Lakers.
Hey, are y'all a little worried that we ain't getting no Knicks rumors?
No, I mean, but you got to think about it this way, right? Look, they did say we don't want to give up a bunch of assets because we might need it down the line. I mean, it sucks because I think there's going to be a run on players before the draft. I think tomorrow's might be a big day, and Wednesday up to the draft. I'm just I don't know what the Knicks are thinking, but you do need a legit point guard, whether it's from if you want to get a guy like Westbrook to just give you that production,
even for just a year,
or you need to draft somebody. And who you're going to draft? You have to move up in the draft to get a point guard.
Halliburton. I think Halliburton or Q Lewis.
Yeah, the Knicks come out and said that they're not drafting a point guard, that they don't want a rookie point guard.
Well, who said that?
The Knicks. The Knicks said
that, or rumors said that.
Huh?
Exactly.
No,
the Knicks said that, or these reporters who have the inside.
Ian Begley said that, so you know it's legit when it comes out of Begley. Begley said that the Knicks don't want to draft.
But actually, hold on. The Begley could be again smoke screens, right? Why would you give your draft tactic or your draft strategy? I would say, well, we're not going to draft any point guards this year. It could be a tactic so you fool another team and think, all right, the Knicks aren't going to take this guy here, so we'll take and hopefully drops or whatever it may be, right? No one knows what Knicks are doing. No one. And I give credit to the Knicks. They've been telling Ian Bagley, all these people, yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying Ian Bagley's lying. He's probably just getting yes information from the Knicks.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't think after if Hayes isn't there at 8, you shouldn't take a reach for a point guard.
Nah. Or maybe.
Oh, so you taking Hayes at 8? You taking Hayes at 8? Boots?
I would take him at 8.
Yeah. So would I.
Interesting.
What do you think about George Hill with the Pelicans, man? Would you go after him?
No, he doesn't.
Nah.
For 1 year? He doesn't move the needle.
I mean, it's just for like a filler for you. I mean,
that's almost as like
we need
that's
somebody for a year. We need somebody for a year, guys. I mean,
that's a little bit better than having Peyton.
Until we get somebody steady.
They're killing you about Hayes, Oots.
What negative on Hayes?
Whatever. Hayes. I like Hayes.
No, I like Hayes, but I don't like him that much. But
I'd rather trade with our 27th and even our 38. We can move up for him to trade because I think we could. I still want to get a better player at 8, but I would not mind taking Hayes. I think for some reason I love it. It's funny if Killian Hayes was given the same production that Kara Lewis did at Alabama and Germany, people would be way higher on Killian. Again, I think the whole overseas. I've seen in mock drafts. I think in mock draft that was updated on the 3rd, they had Theo Melodon going before Kira Lewis. They had us taking Kira Lewis at 27, which I doubt he ends up getting.
What?
Yes,
What about Rondo, guys?
it's still there. Mockdraft.net. At least I think it was either there in the November 3rd.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
Hey, we gotta check these dudes'
NBA
credentials. Let's get it. Hey, we gotta check these dudes' credentials for sure. Because some of this stuff is wild, mad wild.
But you know why? I'm telling you, man. There's a bias for European play. Why do you think guys like put like this? If Denny Adivja had that same type of production and all that stuff in college in the U.S., he would not be as highly. I've watched them at Adivja. I don't know what people see in him that he's in fourth.
He's not good.
I watched his highlights and I'm waiting. Where's the Euro step? Where's all this stuff? He can shoot the ball, cut to the back. He does all the basics.
Dude, he's a Zonia 2.0.
Isn't that what I said? That he's a Zonia?
He has a good marketing team.
A Zonia was fast and more explosive at Barcelona. I didn't see anything to Luka. I wasn't as I always have a weird thing about European players. I get scared about them because I had my heart broken when I was like, yo, Rudy Fernandez and that Blaze team gonna be nasty. He didn't come.
Oh man,
I was so high Rudy Fernandez. That was my guy because when he played the U.S. in that Olympic game, I was like,
he was balling. He was balling.
But not to say I didn't like Luka, but I was like, all right, Luka, all right, you can see the Luka. But Azonia, I'm like, what the fuck do people see in Azonia?
Yeah,
Sorry, in Avdija, that he even taking fourth. Oh, but he might go over Wiseman.
He was pick 6.
No, we're talking about Avdija.
I'm sorry.
He's doing fourth, bro. And like this. If Obi Toppin was, if Avdija was doing what Obi Toppin was doing, hold the fuck up. If Obi Toppin was overseas doing what he was doing, I think he would
be a number 1 pick.
I think he'd be hyped up as Luka. I'm saying it right now. Can't play defense, can't shoot. Well, he can shoot 3 better than Luka. I don't know.
He can't shoot better threes than Luka.
Huh?
Crazy. You're crazy. Obi doesn't shoot better threes than Luka.
Luka shot 30 last year.
Yeah, but Luka just like takes those like crazy threes sometimes, but like he's still a really good shooter.
No. I didn't say he wasn't a good shooter. I say he's not a good 3-point shooter. That's what I'm saying. He shot 50% from 3. Obi shot what?
He takes some questionable shots sometimes.
He get better next year.
But hey, if you're taking questionable cuts, that's on you. You're taking the wild shots. You know what I mean? In the playoffs, though, he's shown out. I'll take out the playoffs. Regular season, he didn't shoot well at the 3. But playoffs, he went off. If Obi was doing what he's doing here, he would be like. I think he'd be taking number 1. Because think about it, he's good on the ball, plays no defense, can shoot, versatile, can pass. Not to say he plays the same style as Luka, but yeah, Luka shot 31% for 3. But that is crazy. Well, be happy that someone's taking Avdija. If he drops to the Knicks, I
wouldn't even want him. I still wouldn't want him.
But see, you're thinking about value. You're thinking about all the hype. Legit think about this guy, Avdija. Is Avdija a guy, if he dropped, is he a guy that you truly think that he's going to be a difference maker? Outside of all
no.
All right, so you let him drop.
Yeah.
You let him drop.
Let him be another team's problem.
Would you be surprised if Chicago picks up Devin Vassell?
What was
You
that?
said would you be pissed? Or
Would you
shocked?
be surprised if they go for Devin Vassell at number 4?
That's a super.
Who they got at guard? Kobe?
I kind of would because they still have Otto Porter.
I feel like they're gonna trade out of Porter.
For to who?
He already moved. He
makes like 20.
Nobody's taking a contract.
If they trade down with the Knicks,
Nobody's taking a contract.
They gave him $110 million and regretted it as soon as
he has a 1 year left on his contract.
Oh, he has 1 year.
Player option.
I mean, the Knicks got
Oh, he
cap.
has a player option. Fuck that.
He can't.
No, he picked up his player option.
He can't stay healthy.
But I mean, in order for the Knicks to be drafting in number 4, maybe the Knicks would like to get somebody at number 4.
Who?
This draft is so
Yo, I'm not trading for anybody.
Be sure, we gotta throw that out there. I just gotta put that out there.
Yeah, I know, but like
the Knicks
you do that if there's a Luka in the draft.
What if
you do that
number 4?
Right, you do that, and I'm not saying we tank
do
for
the Flamelo.
If you get into next year's draft and you're able to trade up, just see how the talent is now. You can say, all right, I'll draft up next year, right?
Yeah.
This draft, this is one that's like look, if you're in that top 10 or whatever, you just stay put and you get a guy that can fit your system. People will say you take best player available. I think for the Knicks, when you talk about identity, I don't want this is what I'm scared about with best player available. Just because this draft is so weak, you're gonna have a lot of high ceiling but very low floor players, right? Very guys, right? Unless you take
Bucks really got Bogdanovich. It's done.
Who?
Bogdanovich to Bucks.
Bogdanovich.
Sign and trade.
Sign and trade.
The Knicks need to start waking up. They're letting move.
Wait, Bogdanovich, the one from the
Sacramento.
Sacramento?
No, Sacramento.
Bogdanovic.
Wait, all right, I'm fucked up. All right.
The shooting guard of the Kings.
Right. So wait,
that
Jazz's name? What's his name?
Bojan. That's Bojan.
Oh wow. No,
the guy that we wanted from the Kings, the guy that replayed was taken by the Heelsmans.
Oh, he's going to the Bucks now.
The Bucks, and then the Bucks.
That's a good starting lineup. I'm not
They got
gonna lie.
and Bogdan.
Wait, say who the Kings get?
They haven't said yet. They're probably gonna get DiVincenzo, DJ Wilson, and
White Chop. Was it White MJ? What do they call him? White.
Yeah, because Eric Bledsoe's gone to the Pelicans, right? In that Holiday trade, isn't he?
Yep.
Wow, Bogdan and Drew Holiday along with
Giannis.
They making sure they keep Giannis
and Lopez.
You know you need that shooter for Giannis, man, because
Giannis ain't leaving, man.
Nah, yeah.
I want everybody to show.
What about Eric Bledsoe? Should have
all his teammates on Instagram after that game?
What about Eric Bledsoe? What do you guys think about Eric Bledsoe? Should the Knicks try to go after him from the Pelicans?
No, I don't like Eric Bledsoe whatsoever. Absolutely not.
No. Not even for 1 year, right?
He's terrible. I don't like him at all.
You know what's funny?
Overpaid, overhyped.
I'm gonna go that far, but like I just don't. I don't
want to go after nobody anymore. God is really trying to hold it because he just gave a bunch of options. He's like, "Yo, guys, you want to go after this guy?" And people are like, "No." And you know, God wants to be like, "Yo, y'all want to make the playoffs?" No.
He's not.
Man, Art, man, you got to tell this guy that it's not me, man. You got to tell him that
I'm joking with you, God. I'm
joking with me. Come on, man.
I know.
I'm feeling bad because now looking back, I kind of embarrassed myself. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you good.
No, we having fun.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, but at the other show, I did damage over there.
Yo, so the channel is 4 subscribers away from 100. So if y'all like target, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Put that like so that we can continue to hear Raphael go haywire on Guillermo.
Oh yeah, but
this is who they gave up. They gave up.
I'm gonna drop out the video portion and hang out in the chat. I'm still here. Y'all go ahead and do that thing. I'm gonna just be in the chat chopping it up.
Okay.
So Rondo's a hell no, right?
Hey, Ralph is the who's mark of Nick at Night.
No.
Dante DiVincenzo, Ersan Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson.
Rondo hell no right now, or would you take
what else? Picks?
No picks.
Wait, say it again. Sorry. What's the trade?
Dante DiVincenzo, Ersan Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson.
I like DiVincenzo, man. I like him.
For
Bogdanovich.
I ain't gonna lie, man. The Bucks is moving on up.
Let me ask you guys a question on that. Do you think this defense suffers because they have top 5 defense?
Ilyasova was a good piece for them, for real. That's a big loss, for real.
Yeah, I think
they can replace him easily. Now they can get the minimum people. Yeah. Like minimum people are like ring chasers are gonna come there now.
Yeah.
But is Rondo a good piece for the Knicks or no?
Yes, if he's healthy, yes.
He is, but he's not coming here.
He's not staying healthy. He's going to Atlanta
for 1 year. Or Atlanta.
He's going to Lakers, or he's going to the Clippers.
Rondo's staying put.
Play on ball. They're not trained. They're not going to let Rondo.
I thought Atlanta was going to go for Buddy Hield.
The only thing that I don't get is that would the Lakers still keep Rondo was big for that Lakers team. Would you keep him?
I think they'll still keep him.
Yeah, well, they had to resign him.
I don't think they
they could.
Rondo might go to the Clippers, man. He might do some
because Schroeder could come off the bench, like he's proven it. He's almost 6 men last year. Lakers could use him as a 6 man.
I see Rondo coming off the bench.
Either or, he could do both.
Order was insurance for KCP because KCP declined his kind of what was it?
I think the Knicks should try to sign KCP.
KCP.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I won't be mad at that.
I don't know.
3
Depends
and
on
D
what.
small forward. I'd take him.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
What?
KCP, I thought he was like a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
can play both.
he's a specialist.
Yeah, he played. It's a system, but he played so well in that playoffs last year or this past season. If we don't draft a 2, I wouldn't mind bringing him here because again, he would fit. He would fit playing alongside a guy like RJ really well. A guy who needs a floor-play defense. So and you keep him here. Look, players aren't coming here, and you have to overpay for certain players. He won his championship. You give him a 2-year deal with an option, so he's not just here to just basically go back in the free agent market next year. And if he's playing really well, I mean, I don't think KCP is a guy that if he plays
His
really
defense ain't bad either, though.
contract, but KCP fed off LeBron, but again, the LeBron factor. But KCP,
He was good on Detroit.
before that. Hold up. KCP was a good player even before that.
Before LeBron, he was good on Detroit.
So KCP's been put up. He actually had a down year last year.
Yeah, last year he was terrible.
His role got diminished.
Right, and he shot 38.5%. Last year he averaged 11.4, shot 34.7% from the 3. The year before that, he shot 38.3% over 5.6 attempts. And he averaged 13.4 points. In Cleveland or in Detroit, he averaged 13.8 points and I can't see for sure by my glasses. 35%. So he's a solid player, man. Again, when you talk about roles and you talk about identity, would he fit a Knick identity where we're trying to have those type of players, guys who can space the floor? Because we have no spacing right now.
I ain't gonna lie, he's like a Vassell to me, a 3-and-D guy.
I think Vassell.
I think Vassell is more like a Ariza.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all you
Vassell
need.
is just like a Ariza. Not just like, excuse me.
I think he's a Ariza type 3 and D guy.
Bogdanovich gone. I wanted him.
Yeah, he was disgruntled in
Hey, yo, I'm gonna say something. Hey, I'm gonna say something real quick, man. These points y'all making are crazy. I just want to say something though for the Knicks at Night channel podcast. Hey, for the first time ever, I gave the wrench out to somebody. So shouts out to Sima Singh in the building and Bodega Wi-Fi. So they're gonna moderate the trolls while we get on here and chop it up. I just want to get in here and just say that because I don't usually do that because I don't know how none of this stuff works. So I'm just blindly trusting these 2 cats that's the homies to make sure they got our back. So I'm gonna get back in the chat though. Y'all go ahead, man. This thing is crazy. This Guillermo, hey man, you schooling cats at the same time. These dudes don't want to hear that though.
Why does Freezy do this? Why are you pitting me against?
They be hyping.
He's hyping.
I'm just
Instigator.
Hey, fuck with Raphael if you want to and see what happened. That's all I'm saying.
Raphael's killing.
Hey, Rob going into itself.
Man, Raphael's killing. And he disappears. Yo. This guy, man. Yeah, this guy.
Nah. Listen, man, I wasn't trying to get at it earlier today. I was just emphasizing the other people's blueprint with the Knicks, man. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to troll, man.
I'm not even. When I was saying that,
he was venting.
Honestly, I wasn't coming at. I'm more so telling you, don't listen to the fray of people, because literally, dude, I had arguments with Mark.
It's real, Guillermo. That crew is real about not wanting to win.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Ralph, I couldn't wait to see you later. I couldn't wait to see you later.
Oh, damn.
Wait, what happened?
I live for it. No, but look, if it was me that wanted to tank, I will argue. I'll argue to death. But, bro, I'm starting to catch up with this wave. I'm like, yo, what's up with this crew that just really doesn't care if we win or lose? That really doesn't care about making the playoffs, and even caught me by shocked. And it's not something that Knicks fans talk about. You're like, you don't know what Knicks fans, and then you're like, oh, they really are Knicks fans, and they really want to follow the Suns' blueprint, and they think that that's successful. And I can't disagree. I can't really say like, "Hey, you're wrong and I'm right." Who am I to say?
No. Hey, Ralph, I'm about to pivot though. I'm thinking that the Knicks is waiting to unload these. They're not extending nobody. I think we're waiting to get them out the books. I was just thinking about it. Like, why are we making no moves yet? You know.
No, but what they could do,
the option expiration is tomorrow, right? Where they're not cut, they stay on their guaranteed money, right? That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. Yeah,
guys, but what they could do is they could trade them away, and then whatever team that gets those contracts could just waive them, and they're not guaranteed. So like if a team's trying, they could be like, oh, here's Peyton and Ellington for Russell Westbrook or something if you want cap space.
Yeah, they said they have until Thursday for the options. Is that
it's Thursday.
I want to continue that. I want to continue that point though. That who am I to tell another Knicks fan who's really a Knicks fan and this crew that they really just won up tank?
God, it's okay.
How can I do that?
You sound like a battered ex, dude. It's cool.
Yo, God, why do you keep going back to those fans? Screw those. Like, it's okay. Let them eat. Let them live.
Dang, so I just feel bad that I said what I said earlier.
If the Knicks do what you want the Knicks to do, and we are winning, those same fans aren't going to say shit. It doesn't matter. Let them be. You know what you like? You're like an old Roman crusader or Eastern Roman Byzantine crusader. Or whatever the hell.
Possibly.
Right? You want to sit there and convert everybody. You can't sit there and convert. You just got to sit back.
Well, that's the best part to have conversation.
But hold up, wouldn't you rather this, right? Versus trying to convince everybody, sit back, let your plan play out, right? You bet on, hey, I like what the Knicks did. I like this, right? And people are like, no, that's wrong. And if it plays out and you win, you have cash.
Right.
You're good. Who's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, we got to the third round or the second round of the playoffs. I wanted to tank." Like,
yo, look who in the building. Look who in the building.
You woke up.
Andy, what's good?
He woke up to all these trades.
Oh yeah, he woke up.
Yeah.
Yellow fellows.
No Knicks trades. No Knicks trades though.
RJ, why don't you care about LeBron James and when he needs to go take those needles again? Allegedly, before I get in trouble. Allegedly. But you got stuff to worry about with the Lakers, man. I know you guys want that fake little phony championship, but worry about your own bum ass team, man. AD, fake. Oh, that championship was so whack. And then Dwight Howard's trying to cry like, you can like dogs. You were literally one of the
counting me out.
Hey, that was a good troll from LeBron though. LeBron did troll. Like I like that troll LeBron did that you cheated on me. Well, he said where he had the trophy, he said, "You've been cheating on me for so long." Those were good shots he threw at
for so long. LeBron James, you've gotten any player or most of the players that you've played on super teams your whole life. Like you're underachiever. Like that, you don't deserve the championship. Well, I say underachiever. Excuse me, but you've underachieved in years. Let's not act like LeBron James deserved it. Like you know, what I mean, you come on, dogs. You played.
I ain't gonna take the LeBron slander. He from Ohio.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
I'm not taking LeBron slander.
I'm gonna clear him all day, man. LeBron James, didn't he leave his team for 2 weeks to go and re-energize in Miami, the same place where the Biogenesis lab is located? That's LeBron James.
Right.
2009, he had a tumor taken out of his jaw. You remember that, right? Or a growth taken out of his jaw, right?
Allegedly.
Y'all remember that? The same LeBron James, when CP3, his best friend, was vying to become the head of the NBA PA, he explicitly campaigned against testing for HGH and steroids. In the NBA, where steroids and HGH is not widespread, I said the only guys I remember that last did it was Wilson Chandler, or got accused of it. Wilson Chandler, Birdman, John Collins, and I think Jameer Nelson.
DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton. So
LeBron, and it's kind of hard to get caught. Like you got to be on it for a while to go for real.
Okay, can anybody tell me this? LeBron James on the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? When he went back to Cleveland, right? Those first few weeks, he looked dried up. Remember, he was like, I'm on a keto diet, was it, or whatever? Maybe he was mad skinny, and he was seen at the restaurant, mad skinny, like frail skinny.
Yo, the keto diet is for real, man. I dropped like 15 pounds in like a week.
Bro, I'm not saying it's not for real.
No,
But
it's crazy.
He's 7 pounds in a game, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Hormones are all effed up from all the stuff you taking. He was in Cleveland. He couldn't remember those first few weeks. Go watch some games. He could not jump. Like, I say he can't jump, but he is like, is this same LeBron James? He took 2 weeks off. Who does this in the season? Who does this in the middle of the season?
I just want to say one thing real fast.
Come on, bro.
Teddy, you my guy. Okay, you stand up for your guy LeBron James, but if you're gonna stand up for him, I'm gonna stand up for KD. Because if LeBron James didn't jump ship from Miami, KD wouldn't have jumped ship from OKC. So you're not lucky beating OKC in the finals with your super team. So if you're gonna stand up for LeBron James, I'm gonna stand up for my guy KD because KD should have been
pussy of the NBA.
KD had LeBron, by the way. KD had
the biggest pussy of the NBA.
Well, the first one was LeBron James.
What did Teddy say?
Hold on. I gotta deal with this guy right now. That's my guy, but I gotta deal with this guy.
His own teammate called him up. Come on, man. Let's cut out with the KD stuff.
Hold up. You couldn't. LeBron James couldn't beat Boston, and they wanted to create this super team.
But he didn't join Boston.
And luckily that Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley agreed to do this whole thing, because if not, that chip should have been KD's championship with James Harden, with Russell Westbrook.
Should have.
Right. So if KD wants to join the super team because LeBron James wants to be build the super team and go to 4 straight in championships with Miami, then don't diss KD for joining a 72 team that wins don't matter in the regular season. So I don't really care about this 72 win team that KD joined the 7. That LeBron James could have beaten them again. So this KD joined the 72 win team, that doesn't mean crap. It never meant crap. It was the most overhyped. It's one of the most overhyped. One of the most overhyped.
Do not hype this.
I don't care.
I'm just saying, my man is
hold on. I'm clapping right now. Yo, I don't care if a regular season team wins 82 games. 82 games in winning 82 games in the regular season doesn't mean crap. It might mean something to the media. Never meant nothing to me. Never meant something when it was Mike D'Antoni. So why does it mean if you win 72 games now? The only reason it ever meant 70 plus wins ever meant something was because Michael Jordan did it in the middle of a three-peat, and he won the championship behind it. The 72 games never meant anything. It was just 70 games. So if KD wants to join an organic team like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and meanwhile you had to call up your buddy Chris Bosh and you try to have Carmelo join in, and you needed Dwayne Wade, and you needed Pat Riley's coaching and him as a general manager to call up, who is it, Birdman? You had Birdman, Mike Miller, and all this, and then you want to diss KD on top of that? Because you couldn't win on your own? There's nothing about LeBron James that says he can win on his own. There's nothing that says about that. People try to make that argument. You can't make that argument. The only real person that can win, that can stay in one team and win on his own like that is KD. KD should have jumped ship. He should have jumped ship. He's right. He made the right call. That was the right call. It doesn't matter what everybody's saying. We got people jumping ship, and the NBA is supporting them and helping them out while they're doing it. That's but sir, hold on. Let me go. Hold on. I'm in the middle. It's like 2016. Hold up. 2016. Let's look at the 2016. Let's look at that 2016 championship. LeBron James was crying that we need help, and Charles Barkley was making fun of him, and Phil Jackson had to ship out J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert and to the Cleveland Cavaliers so that they could win that championship. And what did LeBron James do? He dissed the Knicks for shipping them out for nothing, acting like he was a big shot. That's not fair. You needed help. You kept crying. We gave you that help, and now you want to act like you did it on your own?
Yo, KD was one win away from not leaving OKC. They would have.
It doesn't matter.
They would have won that finals that year.
LeBron James would have kept crying, and he would have kept crying for more help. And that's how it goes with LeBron James.
So not to get away from that strand of the conversation, I just want to figure out who is going to be here by the end of the week. Like, what Knicks cat that's on the roster right now is going to be here.
We're running it back. We're running it back. We want to win 26 games.
Yeah. LeBron James cries for the most help, and people want to act like he's doing everything right, and KD's the one that's jumping ship. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Well,
they got lucky for that first championship.
I think Portis is gone. I think. Well, I mean the option, right? The team option. I don't think they're going to bring him on. I do think Peyton should be gone, and most likely will be gone. I do think we get a point guard somehow. But I think just because I think that there's something there with RJ and Peyton and Randall, where they need to start getting some of these mercenary personalities off the team. I think Randall probably stays. The Ellington guys like Ellington will probably gone. I think Todd stays.
This breaks my heart right now. This is breaking my heart. Right? Todd is staying for $9.5 million.
Hey, Joe Madden. Hey, I'm having a some type of issue when we get a certain number of people in the chat. That's why I was jumping out to allow you to jump in. We can take turns jumping in and out of the chat if you want to, but yo, hey, so here's the thing, yo. I want to kind of keep it smooth like this. If somebody else wants to join the chat, that means I have to ask somebody else to dip. I really don't want to do that right now because the conversation is headed in a direction where I feel like we can get some juicy Knicks details out there. So hey, shout out to Alawaz too, by the way. Hey, and it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to anybody that come on because y'all know how we go. You know what I'm saying? We invite all to come. You know what I'm saying? Everybody to be a part. But when I was in when we had 6, there was something funky going on with Sportscaster on my end. So that's the reason why I dipped out and got in the chat and left Joe Madden in.
So please let somebody else in. I'll come up. So I'll be in the chat.
I'll step down too. I'll be willing to help out, man. I don't mind taking a half an hour, and relaxing for a minute.
Yeah.
Get your blood pressure down.
No, I mean we gotta argue. I mean this guy's trying to tell me like LeBron is doing everything right and KD like
I didn't say nothing like that. I just said don't hate on LeBron. He from Ohio. That's all. I'm not taking that LeBron slander. That's it.
Okay.
You went on this
KD behind that too.
In this rant.
No, you're right. You're right about look. But at the same time, I'm not gonna have KD get slandered.
And you was wrong.
I ain't wrong.
LeBron can go to the Knicks. Before the only reason I wanted to stop you, LeBron was originally supposed to go to the Knicks. But our front office is so terrible, he took it to Miami. That's why I wanted to stop you at. But true. I mean,
Wheelchair Donnie.
I hope you're right.
They went into a meeting with Wheelchair Donnie, D'Antoni, and freaking James Dolan.
Messed it up.
Yep.
I always think that when it comes to
Mills was probably there too.
I always think that it's like because the media clowns us so much that half the stuff that they say that he was supposed to like. I just think that it's just cover up and they're gonna clown.
He said it out his own mouth.
I got a point, Teddy. You got a good point. But I don't like that Phil Jackson gave him J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert for nothing. Ultimately they won that championship. And then in the parade, LeBron James dissed Phil Jackson in the Knicks that, hey, look, they don't know what they're doing. You could watch the parade of the 2016 parade.
No, they didn't know what he was doing. He was right about that.
No, that's not what he said. What LeBron James said is look at my posse. Is what he said.
No, there's something after that.
That's what he was like look at my posse.
No. There's something that you're missing one of the key ingredients in there. Why Phil Jackson started dissing him because LeBron James dissed him first. LeBron James started a fire right there.
I think it was Phil in the interview who said something first.
Phil said something about LeBron James and his posse looking to take over the NBA.
He said that.
You know that? Yeah, that is what started the LeBron James Phil Jackson beef. I mean, they never crossed words before that, not that we know of. You know what I'm saying? Not anything documented.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it later today. I'm gonna bring this conversation back.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't give a shit about LeBron James.
Yeah, we don't.
You know,
I don't care nothing about the Lakers.
Just to let you know, it was just one person. I don't care about the Lakers. It was just one.
I gotta make the point that LeBron James dissed the Knicks first. I gotta make my point.
I mean,
I gotta remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's a. But I mean, to be honest, I mean, like the whole point of like bringing up LeBron is like, you know, what are we actually looking to gain by talking about LeBron?
No, it's just for conversation. Look, he's a LeBron James fan.
No, I was being funny. It just went left fast.
It went off the rails.
That's what we do. We have conversations, and we just have conversation.
Nah, but to pivot back to the New York Knicks though, I'm still a little surprised. I ain't hearing no rumors. You know, I ain't hearing nobody like
not a peep.
You know, it's kind of frustrating.
Yo, I think you hit it on the money the other day. That a lot of this stuff is just not going to happen. You were making a good point.
I did say that.
And this is another reason I wanted to talk to you, because I'm like, you know what, Teddy's on the money, and I even agreed with you on that situation. Yes or no?
So, you definitely did. Yeah.
So I think that's really going to happen. That's why I'm having that conversation of Rondo, because I think we're going to, you know, we might draft the point.
Free agency start Friday.
And we might draft Freezy's favorite player, Tyrese Halliburton. And we might
I'll jump out and play glass.
We're gonna draft and we're gonna sign Rondo. I think that might happen. I think that's something that those little small moves that can hopefully lead to a winning situation.
You know what I think may be happening here? What seems to have occurred is our new front office may be in that moment where, like, the moment of truth, like, you know how you teach a young person how to drive and then it start raining and they get nervous when it's raining? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was all good, like, driving up and down the street when your street is empty. Then when you get on the highway and the thunderstorms open up and it started raining, and they get that moment of truth, like, they just forget everything in panic. I hope we're not in that moment where our front office is like, you know, we bring all these good things to the table, but now that we're in the moment of truth, you know, we're getting paralyzed by stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment may be too big for them.
I think Drake said it best. Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. I mean, it just seems like, you know, we take
on point with this whole Knicks are not getting anybody. That's what
I don't think we're gonna get somebody, but I think we're holding off because we have strong leverage.
Kira Lewis, if you want to say we're gonna get Kira Lewis, like you've been saying, then yeah, you have an argument there. But I don't know any veteran. I mean, if we're gonna get Jerami Grant,
no.
This is looking like not now. No.
Let's be honest. Let's have that conversation. Let's just have those honest conversations, and then whatever. If we get somebody, at least we'll be happy about it. But at least we got to start with the fact that you've been saying that we don't think we're going to get anybody. I've been agreeing with you, and maybe we get Kira Lewis. Maybe we get Maybe we get the 27th pick.
I think we may trade back.
We may trade back. Let's have those conversations so that at least we're keeping the situation honest, because that might be what's happening.
And if you remember, in Tibbs' opening press conference, he was saying they're looking to work with the young kids and really build with the young kids. So that's another reason why I said, you know what, we might actually be like focusing on what we got right now and adding to RJ Barrett and Mitch for real. Here's my question to you: Do we even need a Westbrook if we draft Kira Lewis? And I think you said, yeah, I think it would be good. No.
He's going to need some years to develop.
Yeah, I think. Man, I hate to say this, and the chat gonna probably flame.
Go ahead.
But I think he may be focused on DSJ.
Okay, that might be the reality.
Kira may be the backup, but like I think he really may be, like, the way they got him. I mean, his offseason is crazy with the Muhammad, Abdul Rauf. You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge That ain't no slack. Like I actually like that move. But if they do trade him, they may be focused on Frank. Like you got one more year to prove to us. You're the all defensive guy. I want you. Defense is our main pedigree next year.
I had a theory that DSJ might be traded to Phoenix because on the offseason we saw Chris Paul with DSJ leading the rally to vote. So I was like, wait a minute, if OKC already has Shea, that doesn't make sense. But Chris Paul got traded to Phoenix, so what if they trade now? They could possibly DSJ will move back up Chris Paul, who was his buddy leading the rally.
And so I agree. So check out what Alawaz just said. Alawaz said, why do you guys think we just need young guys with no vets? No chip is won like that, basically, in history is what he's saying.
Facts.
I agree.
Facts.
I agree.
So basically what I'm getting at is this week right here is the moment of truth for us. We have to do something, establish a direction this week, right? And with that said, one day has gone by and we hadn't heard a word from our organization. All we heard was reports and rumors, right? Now I know in military action, radio silence is key, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, you have a starving fan base that's like, listen, look, we're up at 1:40 in the morning talking about Knicks. Yep. They have a starving fan base, right? The least they can do is at least say, we've established an identity. This is what we're looking to do going forward. And so what that does is that at least lets us know, what they're looking to do. So right now we have no idea what they're looking to do. And they hired a guy to be the spokesperson in moments just like this, right? But we hadn't heard a word. So now all we can do is speculate. And that is what drives the Knicks fan base crazy. Like in my mind, so far the grade for the organization is an F, right? And the reason why I say it's an F is because little things, you don't have to come out and have a full-blown press conference, but maybe you send something out to the media, says, Leon Rose going to his call. Leon Rose said, our immediate need is a veteran presence at point guard. And he could have just left and walked off. You know what I'm saying?
There is a report right now. You see it? There's a report on Bleacher Report.
That's a rumor, though.
Did they attach it to Leon Rose?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. See, those are the type of, because we can all speculate. I mean, shoot, Uncle Freezy can speculate the Knicks need is a veteran point guard. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it doesn't have validity because I'm not a decision maker. Right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to have decision makers, And
did y'all see all the smoke talking about CP3 trade? So I was watching all the smoke, and they were saying CP3 was really considering the New York Knicks.
I thought it was Clippers. Right. I thought it was Clippers.
That was he had three choices: the Clippers and the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And they basically talked about. Basically, Matt Barnes talked him out of it. Like, look, don't go to the Knicks unless somebody else is coming with you.
Right.
So that may be the big thing that the Knicks is trying to do. Like, okay, if we don't bring us, we at least like look to have somebody else that comes as well. Right. So that could be the big thing that's going on right now.
I thought Chris Paul was going to come with Carmelo. I thought that was the situation.
That's not enough.
That was the rumor.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, Carmelo makes so cheap. We talking about a legit start. Carmelo be a good piece, but like,
Chris Paul, but like you said, it had to be two. It would have been Chris Paul and Carmelo, but I guess
we don't consider Carmelo a star anymore. He's.
We don't. I don't disagree with you, but I thought that like at least somebody he's familiar with. I don't know. Or Danilo Gallinari. I thought Danilo Gallinari was going to come with Chris Paul too. It could have been Danilo.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get someone like Gortat.
See Gortat?
He's still in the league?
I mean, what's his name from Miami Heat? Who just got a
Dragic.
That's the type of player.
I was like Gortat. I was like, what?
My bad.
That's from
Yeah, but to the point that I was making is the fan base feels like we're a rudderless ship, And it's the reason why Raphael gets pissed off about people making all of these weird takes is because without information, we're left to make assumptions. You know what I'm saying? So now you got the fan base saying, "Oh, we should build like the Phoenix Suns," and then you got cats like me saying we should have some young players and some vets, but the organization needs to be stable, right? And trying to make the playoffs for one, try to establish an identity going forward, and not try to win a championship on your first step, but trying to get to like the 8th seed, then the 5th seed, then the 3rd seed, and then, you know what I'm saying, maybe trying to make a run at a superstar that gets you in that championship contention conversation. But without any information from the Knicks, we're all basically making assumptions. Like I saw something that said, a rumor that said the Knicks are foregoing the youth movement, and they're going to get veterans to surround Russell Westbrook. Well, how can they get veterans to surround Russell Westbrook when they don't have Russell Westbrook? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think he's going nowhere. We don't think he's going anywhere anyways.
Well, I think they're trying to trade James first.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade James. I think Russell Westbrook, his value is too low. And I don't think they're going to trade him.
But the point to it is not that. I'm talking not from Houston's perspective. I'm talking about from the Knicks' perspective, right? Yeah. You're from the Knicks, but it's the reason why we have like these deflammatory arguments that never get anywhere because we have these arguments with no real answers to them, right? Because we don't get information to base our arguments in fact. So if we got information to base our arguments in fact, then we can at least say, you know what, they said they were going to go get a veteran point guard, so maybe Russell Westbrook is the answer, right? But when you don't hear anything, when all you hear is speculation from a fan base of about 500,000 people, you're going to get these weird takes all over the place. And then all you do is feed those whack takes with rumors and innuendo and subversion, and all it does is frustrate Knicks fans into wanting to knee jerk into a bad decision. Is what I'm getting at. So
I want to be positive about this. What if we're just being patient and sitting on our hands and knowing that we got all the leverage? And, you know, there may be some crazy trades that they're trying to put out. And we're like, we know his market value is super low. They're going to get thirsty after one, but all right, just give us this.
For Russ?
Yes.
I'm telling you, Teddy, I really think.
They got no draft picks.
I got you. And that's the more reason why.
Got two.
Someone saying is like, what is you talking about? I'm saying, dog, that we wouldn't base our conversation on rumors if we had facts to go by. That's as simple as I can put it. If we had facts to go by, we wouldn't be pushing, waiting on the rumor mill to spit something out.
Now, would y'all be upset if we did just focus on the young guys?
Yes.
Say it again.
Would y'all be upset if we just focused on the young guys, even though they're 3-4 years in?
Look, the draft. Look, for me personally, who we draft, then I want to know who we go after free agents. But I agree. Like first, we need to draft that player. If it's Kira Lewis, then I'm not going to be so crazy about a Russell Westbrook or Mike Conley or, but not knowing having that point guard position empty and possibly, I mean, if DSJ is here, great, no problem. But if he's being traded, it creates like, who the hell is our starting point guard? Like, we need a freaking point guard. Like, it's enough. And then when you hear people not wanting a point guard and to continue the young team, and we don't have we don't have the Kira Lewis pick. He still hasn't been, we haven't entered the draft yet. If we would have had Kira Lewis, maybe I would be less anxious right now.
Well, I'm gonna address this. Some saying thing. So Summer Singh said, "You want people guessing, bro? That is the point." No, it's the opposite. What I'm saying is, without real information from the Knicks organization, the fans are left to guess. Is what I'm saying. And what guessing does is it leads to these weird conversations that have no real answers. Is basically all we do is just yell at each other for like 30 minutes about a rumor, recycle it, reword it, and then do it again. It's like we reboot the rumor mill to argue about certain things. But if the organization legit came out with facts, like say if Scott Perry stepped to a podium and said, "Hey, listen, I'm just going to take a couple questions," and says something like, "Our clear direction is this. We realize that Mitch and RJ are going to be our cornerstones, right? That's one point. That establishes one point. That lets you know everybody else in the organization is available, right? Then he says, well, we're going to trade, since those guys are young, we're going to trade for a veteran point guard to help their development. That's a second point. That lets you know that Frank and DSJ are not the answers, and they're looking to get a veteran point guard, right? And then if he says, we'll look to do that in the draft and free agency. So that lets you know that he is looking for a certain thing in the draft and in free agency. And so just by saying a short statement like that, he lets you know that there are 3 things that they're looking to do, right? So RJ and Mitchell are the future. So he wants to get a veteran point guard. So you know that's on the table. You want to get somebody to help the veteran point guard, right? That's second. That's on the table, right? Free agency, they're looking for complementary pieces and not a star. That's third. You know what I'm saying? So that's 3 things that'll stop us from speculating about who we're going to draft, who we're looking for in trade, who we're looking for in free agency. Now, then we have something to at least let us know, you know what I'm saying, what it is that we're looking to do for this 6-day period. Because this 6-day period is very important. It's not the end-all, be-all, but you know, in situations like this, it's first come, first serve. Like soon as like in the draft, you have to draft in a certain order. So we don't draft 8th. So now we feel like if the guy we want is going to projected to be 4th, do we trade up to get that guy? Do we use those assets that we said that we might not be using to move up in the draft? And then when you make your draft, then you go to free agency and you're like, well, he said we're going to get complementary pieces to go around the veteran point guard and the young core. So now you know we're not going for a star. You know, everything we get will be complementary pieces, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying make the merry-go-round go faster. What I'm saying is give us a clear direction, and then that way we can follow along as fans.
I'm starting to think that we're going to trade up. If we ain't making no move, we're going to get LaMelo. Ain't this about it? I'm starting to think we're going to get LaMelo.
Yeah, you got to make a move. Like, you got to, man, we need somebody to help this team. Like, it's just,
man.
Maybe
I got a wild card. So if Charlotte gets Russ, do we get Terry Rozier?
That's a good conversation. I don't know, man.
I didn't even want to sign him. I didn't want to sign him last year.
Somebody needs to start. We need a starting point guard. I'm not gonna.
Man,
It needs to be. We need somebody to play the point guard. Somebody needs that man.
And Gordon Hayward is opting out. Does he come to New York for them? Does he chase the bag?
He's opted. He opted in. Right?
I'm not gonna be hating.
Yeah, he's undecided still, but does it say he opts out?
I like that. Me personally, I like the whole idea of bringing him with the $35 million contract because
he'll opt out. He'll be a whole brand new contract. He wants to have years behind him.
No, I don't want to sign him.
Or just hypothetically speaking, they want to get rid of Kemba on the low. Would you want Kemba on the team?
I hadn't heard them wanting to get rid of Kemba. I watched the Celtics podcast, the NBC Sports Boston Celtics podcast occasionally. Just not as a fan, just for info, you know what I'm saying? And so their thing is they know Kemba is nice. The only thing though is they know they gotta do load management with Kemba because a smaller guard with knee injuries is gonna be something detrimental down the road if he gets too much of a workload. So in the Celtics' mind, they were looking at getting Drew Holiday this morning. They didn't get him. The other person, they were talking about getting Christian Wood. So we don't know if they're going to do Christian Wood or not. I think in my basketball experience tells me that they need to give Marcus Smart more of a workload on offense or draft another, acquire another point guard to play with Kemba Walker or look to get a guy that's going to take Marcus Smart's place on defense, or at least some of the defensive load, and then that way Well, basically, to sum it up, they need to improve their 3-guard rotation because cats like Brad Wanamaker is not going to do it, and they realize that.
Gotcha. Freezy, I just want to say, I have, at first when Phil Jackson wanted Kemba Walker when he was here, because Phil Jackson had interest on Nick Batum. He had interest in Kemba Walker too, because Kemba Walker was from New York.
I'm glad he didn't do that.
He didn't want Kemba Walker.
There was a time that Phil Jackson was like, you were hearing like
he wanted scrubs, man. He wanted Batum. He wanted Greg Monroe.
That's true. He was interested in Kemba Walker. So, but
remember LaMarcus Aldridge? LaMarcus Aldridge leaving Portland. So
we didn't even get a meeting.
I want to make a point. And then Kemba Walker, instead of like coming to New York, he literally just signed with Boston. And as soon as he signed with Boston, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm done with Kemba Walker. I wouldn't trade for him even if I wanted to because he didn't even entertain the Knicks like that.
No, it was one of his choices, but he went to Boston.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I feel like
no. But he said on a podcast that the Knicks didn't even want to talk to him.
He felt disrespected.
Yeah, like
I just feel like he didn't want to come here because every time you hear
Mr. Mills, man, Mr. Mills.
Every time you hear something about Kemba Walker, it was like. Like a no thank you. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't want to, I'm not going to pay you the $35 million, even if Boston doesn't want to pay you $35 million, because I want to pay somebody 35. Like I would spend 35 on Gordon Hayward because at least we didn't chase him before he was signed. But the point that Phil Jackson has been wanting to get Kemba for a while, and he's been, he hasn't shown no interest since those years. That I'm like, listen, man, I'm not going to try to. I don't want somebody like that in the roster. I'd rather go for Hayward, or I'd rather get anybody else than Kemba Walker. Me personally, but if you like him, that's cool.
The more and more I think about this draft, the more and more I'm thinking we're gonna get Halliburton.
Dog, stop trolling me, dog. Stop trolling me.
I hate to say it. Only because
look in your eye, you trolling me. You legit want me to jump out this window over here.
Man, so I'm gonna tell you why.
Start practicing.
I think they're in on Julius, man. We need a shooting point guard.
I remember that Chicago trade I said to you guys earlier. I wouldn't put it past that either. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks trade to Chicago for their 4th pick and a swap. They take the 8th. They take the 8th. We take the 4th, and maybe the Knicks will trade with Charlotte for the number 3. Like I can't explain it. That's too much. That's too complicated. But if the Knicks can trade with Chicago for the 4th, and we take the Otto Porter contract, I can see the Knicks try to make another deal with Charlotte for their number 3, and Charlotte will take the Chicago number 4, and the Knicks give up another let's just say Julius Randle. They give up Julius Randle, and they say, listen, let's just make this work. You take the number 4, I take the number 3. I'm going to draft LaMelo Ball number 3. And they try to do something like that.
I heard Detroit trying to get rid of Blake Griffin.
I think the one team that's going to trade up is Detroit, because they're
who do you think they're going to trade up with?
They want LaMelo Ball. They've been at his workouts.
Who they're going to trade up with? Chicago? Who they're going to trade up? Charlotte?
Probably
Charlotte or
the Warriors.
The Warriors.
Only the Knicks will take that contract.
What?
The Warriors ain't taking that contract.
The Warriors.
What?
I think the Warriors.
The Bulls trade. No, who did I say?
They don't have cap space.
No, Detroit could trade like 7.
And they trying to get rid of
a future pick for LaMelo.
And Golden State trying to get rid of.
No. But you
don't think they ain't trying to get rid of it.
Art is not saying that thing right, man. They're not going to trade. They're not trading Blake Griffin. If you trade Blake Griffin in the 7th pick, then you're trading down. You're not trading up. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Chicago, when I say Chicago and
they already got the rumors out about
trading down, they're not trading up, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, well they don't have to trade Griffin.
They're trading down. They're not going to trade up. You don't trade Blake Griffin.
Detroit's already they already got this. They
already got, there's already rumors like the Warriors like Halliburton and Vassell.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Blake Griffin's not in that deal. I don't know.
No,
maybe Luke Kennard. Then maybe Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard.
Maybe Luke Kennard in the 7th.
Nah, I'm telling you, Blake Griffin, they're gonna trade Wiggins, they're gonna swap.
They Blake Griffin for Wiggins.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, Wiggins was just a trade asset.
Hold on. That's but damn, you're gonna take those bum knees? They're gonna take those badass knees from Blake Griffin rather than go with Andrew Wiggins?
They're really trying to go for Giannis for real, but it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. They'd rather go with Blake Griffin.
Hey, so let me say something to y'all Detroit argument about the Detroit wanting LaMelo Ball thing. In my opinion, I think the chessboard has put itself in a position where Detroit is going to use all their cap space to go after Fred VanVleet, and then maybe look to get another young backcourt piece in the draft. I don't know what piece that is, but after they get Fred VanVleet, their next option would be probably getting a valuable piece to add to their young core. So they would probably go best player available. And if, depending on who it is, when they pick at 7, it may be an Obi Toppin, it may be a Killian Hayes or somebody like that, but they wouldn't be forced to pick point guard. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Chris Paul went to the Suns makes it better for us, because Detroit's not going to get in that veteran free agent market. They're not going to be in on Rondo and cats like that. They'll probably throw the bag at Fred VanVleet, which opens up the draft board for us, because then they'd be in a situation where, what if Denny falls to them? You know, do they take a Denny Avdija, or do they take Devin Vassell? Do they once they get Fred VanVleet, do they gamble on Patrick Williams? We know they like him, right? But the only reason why they wouldn't take Patrick Williams is because they need the point guard of the future. If they throw the bag at Fred VanVleet, I think it opens up options for them, and thus opens options for us, because once they take the best player available at their spot, I think what that does is it puts us in a position to take the best available player at our spot, and it may be a point guard. So you may be looking at, say, a Killian Hayes or whoever.
Anybody want to jump in right now, Freezy, or no?
I ain't chasing them. I ain't chasing them, man. I mean, listen. I mean, the fact that y'all is in here chopping it up, man, and we still got like 30 people in here, 30 people around the world still in this, or 28, whatever. You know, the numbers fluctuating, but whatever the number is, people are still hanging out because they like that, they like what y'all are saying, and they like to contribute to the show. So if they want to jump in and they respectable, they ain't trying to sell car insurance when you get in here, something stupid like that, you know, we good. You know, if not, we ain't put no pressure, because y'all talking all over each other, and one more person just gonna make it worse. You know what I'm saying? So what do y'all? So Ted, what do you think about that? What do you think about Detroit options at 7 if they sign Fred VanVleet?
I actually, you know, I didn't even consider that. You know, it kind of threw me for, you know what? That could be the case.
Fred wants the bag. You know, Fred wants the bag, and he wants his own team.
He's gonna get it from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never even thought about that. And if they do go with a point guard, they're gonna probably get somebody that's compatible with, you know, what they got on the team. So I could see Vassell going. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Or Coro if he's still there.
Yo, look who in the building! Payback Carter's in the building. What's good?
I like that, and it kind of is. Wow. I don't want.
I know it's more stuff to think about, man. But based off of our stance, we have a lack of facts, concrete evidence. I'm not gonna say a lack of facts. I'll just say a lack of concrete evidence for one case or the other. We just don't have that right now. So right now we're just to speculate based off of what we see other teams doing.
And you know what's so crazy is I think we're gonna exercise Elfrid Payton's contract.
Dude,
I'm gonna tell you something, man. If we leave draft night with Elfrid Payton on our roster and Tyrese Halliburton, I swear I'm jumping out a window, dog. Hey, look, and not even a low window too. I might bounce when I hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because Tyrese Halliburton and Elfrid Payton, to me, it's just more the same. You know, I mean, bro. I mean, we have to consider all these things. So, yo, we got a Raptors fan in the building.
Oh,
Hey, oh, look at that. We got a Raptors fan. So we had a Lakers fan in the building, and now we got a Raptors fan. Hey, shout out to the Raptors fan.
he gets it. Fred VanVleet is overrated.
Oh my God, yes he is.
Well,
He
I mean,
is.
yeah, I think so. I think part of the thing is, and I know I called him Tito Jackson the other night, but I needed a strong reference for Knicks fans to understand.
Every winning team always gets overrated players. Like people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, he won a championship," but like, he's not the guy who led them to a championship.
I don't think 117 is worth it either.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's really concerning to me though? What's really concerning to me is that all the teams that matter are in these rumors, and our franchise hadn't done anything yet. Like Philly is legit, you know what I'm saying, looking at how to improve that roster and maybe trying to come up with ways to improve or acquire James Harden. Right? Look at the Nets. The Nets are in on Harden. Right?
Damn, Bogdanovich got $15 million per year. That's hefty.
But what about the Knicks? Would you have been okay with the Knicks doing that?
15 mil for Bogdanovich?
Yeah.
It's kind of risky. Because that's kind of like similar
How many years?
I don't know.
And was it 345? 3 years at 45 million? 15?
I don't know. 3 years of 45 don't really sound too.
He could either be really good, but he is playing with Giannis, so it should be a lot easier. But like if he signed with the Knicks, it could be like a Tim Hardaway Jr. contract.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well,
I don't know. I think that's a
fair deal for the Bucks. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to that dude Fresh. I think we saw that dude Fresh in the chat a couple times. Hey, shout out to that dude Fresh. We try to so we night owls, man. We did a late night crew, the cleanup crew, I guess. And so we in here, and so we see, you know what I'm saying, a few people stop by, you know what I'm saying. So we want to shout them out for coming through. We appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, for hanging out, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like videos like this, man, so that we can reach more people. And you know, it'll be dope if we can have representatives of half the league. Yeah,
that's who I want. Christian Wood.
Yeah, I want Christian Wood as well. Does that mean Buddy Hield stays in Sacramento now?
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like too.
Yeah,
I mean,
hey,
or they could,
champ?
I don't know who they could trade him to, but I would take him. But whatever.
Yeah.
Well, veteran point guards are out there now to pick up. That's a better question.
Yeah, I know. Russell Westbrook.
I think he's gonna go to Charlotte. I hate to say it.
I don't know. Would OKC trade Rubio? But like, I don't really even want Rubio.
No, we don't even want Rubio.
If we don't get Christian Wood or Jeremy Grant or
it would be an epic failure for year one for Leon Rose, man.
Hey, let me address something real quick. Sean Ariel said, Siakam, Terrence Davis, and 4 first-round picks for Harden. What's your thoughts? To be honest with you, I think that's way too much for Toronto to give up for James Harden. I don't think
if they had Harden though, like that team would be.
But look at what they're giving up though. They're giving up Siakam.
Yeah, Terrence Davis, I don't really care about, but Siakam's not going to be better than Harden.
No, but 6 players for Harden at 31. I'm not sure if how that fits. Like how does
I don't know. Harden seems like he's going to play till like he's 50.
Yeah, because he's got the old man game, right?
He got the old man game.
But how does Kyle Lowry, James Harden, OG Anunoby fit going forward?
What was that?
Kyle Lowry,
Kyle Lowry,
Harden,
Harden, OG Anunoby,
Harden, Anunoby, Norman Powell. How do they fit going forward?
I wouldn't mind getting Powell.
Yeah, Norman Powell's good.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about in terms of this trade though. I don't know if that fits. I think what Toronto may really need is somebody that fits in that role of Kawhi Leonard. You know, and you don't need one person to do it. Maybe you can get two people to fill that role of what Kawhi Leonard did.
You know who I want from Toronto, who's a restricted free agent, is Chris Boucher.
Yeah, he plays hard, man.
Yeah.
That dude. Hey, and the funny thing is, so he gets dunked on a lot, right? The dude, you always see Chris Boucher getting dunked on, right? Yammed on, and people laugh like, "Oh, he always getting dunked on." And I'm telling people that means
he's a good shot blocker.
Yeah, that means he's always in the play. You know, you gotta, you win some, you lose some when you.
Man, Alonzo Mourning used to get dunked on all the time.
Yeah,
yeah.
Who else do I like? I like Christian Wood. I like Derek Jones Jr. from Miami.
Yeah, they already resigning him.
Freaking Alec Burks.
That's somebody we could pick up.
So I said, what happened to the swiper talk? I think a few streams ago, I talked to, I think maybe Rick was here, and I said something crazy, and he went off for like an hour. I think I said, what do y'all think about De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield in a trade? Like, how about take on both contracts?
Sacramento, when De'Aaron Fox is like the heart of Sacramento.
You're right.
He's like the only draft pick that they hit on, man. Him and DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
And I think they work on Bagley still. I think they're trying to make that work.
Yeah.
Bagley just needs to stay healthy. His thing is not production. Because his per minute stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
The only thing is he can't stay healthy. So and then Bagley against opposing centers is obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? Like at power forward, he's straight, above average. But when he goes up against opposing centers, they just can't stay with him. And the dude's like 6'11", 240, doing all these things.
I know we talked about this before, but they saying Levine is up.
I heard about that.
Levine's what?
Available.
Basically, Chicago's up for hearing trades for Levine.
Really?
But with the prices, what people are giving up, we saw how much they gave up for Drew Holiday. Can you imagine the price for Zach LaVine? I might stay away.
All right.
I don't know.
Knicks don't have enough to get him, man.
No. And now might not be the right
Would you guys
time.
bring back Justin Holiday?
I would. He was gritty.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go to Milwaukee with his brother Drew.
Yo, look who in the building. Blockchain boy in the building. What's good? What's goody? Blockchain. Hey, man, these night owls coming out, man. I mean, what's good? Hey, Blockchain, did you get a chance to see the new logos, man? The logos are fire. We got the Knicks at Night podcast logos out on Sportscaster. And eventually we may try to get some swag, like some hoodies, and some some caps, something like that, man, for the Night Owl crew. You know what I'm saying? The cats that come in and hang out with us. What we want to do is at 500 subs, at 500 subscriptions, man, we're gonna do, a giveaway, something swaggy. You know what I'm saying? So send something out to the fans since they support hard. So just keep an eye out for that. Yeah, man. We trying to grow it, man. We trying to grow it. You missed it. Raphael went haywire in here a few minutes ago. Like
I was haywire the whole day, man. Freezer, you don't know. I was haywire all day. Just ask Teddy, man. I had to
get to vent it all out.
I wanted to get with y'all, man. I had something else going on, but I did want to get with y'all. It just took me more time than what I anticipated. So, but you know what though?
I think we ain't gonna get nobody major in free agency. I'm starting to think that.
That what? We're not signing nobody?
I don't think we're gonna get anybody major in free agency. I think that
that'll be such a big failure with
our vet is gonna be Julius Randle.
Ugh.
I'm trolling now. But I just don't,
It's gonna be the starting five is gonna be Rondo.
I think Rondo's going back to Boston.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That'd
That'd be cool.
It'll be with Tibbs. I think he's coming to New York with Tibbs. I think
he hates New York. He's not coming to New York.
No, he ain't coming.
He's Boston.
Even
Boston.
10
He
million.
didn't play with Tibbs though. He
He
played with Fred Hoiberg.
He's literally going to the Hall of Fame as a Boston Celtic. Like,
He's
it's
still
no
gonna
way
be
he's going to
in Boston Celtic, even if he plays for the Knicks.
It's this some stuff you just don't do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an unwritten rule.
That's like if Reggie Miller freaking retired.
I mean, he already played with
the
Lakers, man. I mean, how much worse can that get?
I mean, Lakers is West Coast. That's different.
No, it wasn't because Rondo.
I understand what you're saying.
Look,
New York is actually a rival.
Rondo and KG and the Boston fans and those players, they hated Ray Allen jumping ship to LeBron. And guess what he did? He did the same thing and won a championship with LeBron James too. Hopefully, he squashed that beef. So
I don't think he did.
He already did what KG and Paul Pierce thought is the worst he can do, which is jump ship and win a championship with LeBron James. He already broke that code. Now he can just do whatever he wants. He's on his 18th year, or he's on his 15th, 17th season. Go ahead, man. You go collect them checks. He's just collecting them checks.
Right.
So I think going to the.
You guys know who I like, who's always like pretty good, but not like great. Jeff Green. I would sign him.
Really?
Ooh.
Old man River. Hey, Jeff Green is I'm gonna get in my Legion of Knicks podcast bag. Jeff Green is like the girl that how Guillermo make the what? I like Jeff Green. He's got all world physical talent, and you know what I'm saying. And just not putting it together is the tease with Jeff Green. But he had a heart deformity, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, yeah.
Yeah, they had to legit cut his chest open.
When he was on the Celtics, yeah.
I remember something like that.
Hey, do you think we could pick up Lonzo with this trade?
Which trade?
Lonzo or
Lonzo?
They just picked up
I think they're just putting Bledsoe where Drew played. So
you think Lonzo? You think they're gonna start Lonzo over Eric Bledsoe? And that
I think they're gonna start both.
Yeah.
Maybe Lonzo to Detroit.
I don't know. I'm.
If you're gonna trade for Lonzo, though, it's gonna definitely take Mitchell Robinson and like picks. It's not gonna be cheap.
I give them a pick.
Yeah.
And I really feel like this Fred VanVleet to Detroit thing is maybe the thing that makes the most sense of any free agent pairing that's left. You know what I mean? I mean, because in theory, what other team has a point guard hole that can be filled with a bunch of money aside from us? You know what I mean? Yeah, I just think it just makes too much sense.
The most I can see is Detroit trade down with the Pelicans, and maybe Lonzo's in that conversation.
Right.
I can see that.
Why would they go to 7 though?
The Pelicans want to trade up
That don't make sense.
13 or 14 Pelicans are at. Maybe they want to trade up to 7. I can see something like that.
I agree with Steve. I agree with Steve. I think Halliburton is Lonzo with a shot, but not athletic. Not as athletic.
I agree.
Not as athletic.
I agree. Freeze is selling him short, I think.
No, I just don't see. He don't have speed in the open court like Lonzo. Like Lonzo is legit in transition. Lonzo is one of the better point guards in the game.
Lonzo really doesn't run.
Hey, Lonzo improved last year.
Yeah, and understand what you're saying about that, but he does push the pace. Tyrese Halliburton, though, it concerns me that he does not drive to the basket as a point guard. Like you can't legit run pick and roll if you don't look the threat in the paint.
I think he's more of a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton could definitely knock
he's more of
down
a shooter, and I think we shortchanged Lonzo. Lonzo's defense was pretty good last year too.
Lonzo got good defense, man. He's a rebounder too.
Yeah, I like Lonzo Ball, right? I like the fact that he's not afraid to get dirty as a guard.
He passes it up. He passes it up like really quick up the court.
And his 3-point shot got really good towards the end of the season. Like it was kind of crazy.
Right.
The bubble, he was terrible, but nobody wanted to be in the bubble.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the thing is, man, I just after being scorned by guys that can't penetrate the paint and can't run the pick and roll, I'm just not sold on getting a guy with the potential to learn how to do it. I need to get a guy that's doing it right now. You know what I mean? And I know that don't make sense to some people, but we legit watched Frank Ntilikina, Alfred Payton, and Dennis Smith Jr. botch it up. And then then to say we want to bring in a guy that can learn how to do it on the job. I don't know.
But he got a nice jump shot, man. Halliburton got a nice jump shot, man. He can knock down those threes, man.
Hey, Yellow. I'm not saying we don't like Lonzo. I like Lonzo a lot.
No, talk about Halliburton.
No, I'm talking about Yellow. I'm not saying that I dislike Lonzo. What I'm saying is I don't want to. I dislike Halliburton. I would rather have Lonzo than Halliburton. Is what I'm getting.
Is Halliburton Lonzo with a shot?
Jay Deals, is that official?
I wouldn't.
I'm just waiting for that news, man.
But to Yellow, I want to respond to Yellow.
I ain't gonna lie. Is Halliburton Lonzo with a shot?
Yeah, he got a better shot than Lonzo. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's that big point guard that
for 2 years in college.
I don't know, man. Y'all might be selling me on Halliburton.
I'm telling you, he's all right. I like him as a number 2. I don't like him as a point guard. I like him as a starting shooting guard.
But we drafted a shooting guard last year, though.
RJ's our shooting guard.
Oh, wow. I was thinking about putting RJ at the 3.
But if we was to get Halliburton, I wouldn't mind signing Gordon Hayward. It complete the roster and grab Christian Wood.
All right, so let me offer y'all this, just to recycle something, because I think what we're at is I think so we feel like we need a combo guard. How do y'all feel about Malik Beasley?
Is he going to jail or no?
Go, I mean,
is he going to jail or what?
I don't know.
Man, I think we need to see how his case turned out, man. He may not even be in the streets this whole year.
Right.
Yeah, he aimed a shotgun at his son.
And this has happened in Milwaukee. Y'all see what
in Minnesota.
Out there? That's a different area.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not for sure.
I'm actually surprised he's alive, actually.
So how'd the thing with Malik Beasley go? You said he pointed a shotgun at somebody?
He was like pointing his gun at like his kid, I think, and then like somebody was on his yard and he pointed his gun at the person.
They was in the street though. They wasn't actually on the property. That's the thing that's messing up this case.
Yeah, and then like I think he had like a lot of weed on
When they raided his house, they had ounces.
Yeah.
No, they said pounds. They said
pounds. That's a lot of.
Oh, but I mean, weed is legalized, huh?
Not in Milwaukee, I don't think.
I don't think in Minnesota it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if he was putting a thing at his kid, because we'd have heard details about some department or organization coming in, some child safety group coming in, and having some kind of thing being said. And how I know that is a place I work, man. Somebody tried to rob us, and they put their kids, and so.
No, look, it says county challenging parental rights of Timberwolves Malik Beasley.
Right. So there is okay.
Violence
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Violence says player pointing gone in general direction of his 19-month-old son.
Yeah, he gone.
Yo, I don't want him.
Yeah,
so,
Too much, especially for New York media.
yeah,
yeah.
like people are gonna be like, oh, but we traded for Sprewell for choking PJ Carlesimo, but like,
No, that's not the same.
that's a gun.
He didn't have a gun charge.
Yeah, and the whole PJ Carlesimo and Latrell Sprewell thing is Carlesimo legit was on Sprewell back and was playing him and was relentless, and my man snapped and choked him out. It's not like Sprewell just walked in the gym and just flipped out and went crazy and choked the coach. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dude was relentlessly riding Latrell Sprewell, and he just snapped and tried to choke my man out.
And when it comes to New York, we ain't playing with no gun charges. Ask Plexico Burst.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I got a wild question. You think the Knicks will trade up for Onyeka Okongwu?
No,
right?
Nope.
The
only scenario where the Knicks trade up is if LaMelo Ball starts to slide down the board and he gets within range, like he slides down to 5, and all we have to do is give up like 8 and 27 to move up to 5, and we get LaMelo. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only scenario where the Knicks trade, because I don't see it being prudent to trade up just to trade up. Because if you trade up to 5 and then LaMelo goes at 3, now you're stuck getting a guy at 5 that you could have got at 8, which doesn't make sense.
So would you trade down for Aaron Gordon? Trade with Orlando to 15 and pick up Aaron Gordon? Would you do that?
What are you doing with Julius Randle?
Well, yeah. Would you guys do or no?
No, yeah, I can. What are you doing with Julius Randle?
You could put Julius Randle as a backup center or starting center.
I don't want both of them on the roster.
I think it'd be an outright trade.
Yeah,
what if they don't want him? What if Orlando doesn't want Julius Randle? They just want to get
Aaron Gordon so injury prone. I just don't.
Yeah, like Aaron Gordon doesn't really move the needle for the Knicks, man.
If we was gonna try to go to Orlando, it'd be Vucevic.
Right.
That boy's nice.
Right.
I mean, you can get him, and then you can trade him like you did Marcus Morris. Is what is the thinking.
Nah.
Or you can keep him.
So why trade down? Think about this. Why trade down for Aaron Gordon when you can just draft Obi Toppin at 8?
No, if Obi doesn't get drafted, right? I mean, if he gets drafted, if Obi gets drafted, right?
Right.
And you have a chance to trade down and get Aaron Gordon and draft 15, and possibly Orlando's gonna have to throw another draft pick or something else. You can't just give me Aaron Gordon. You're gonna have to give me something else and the 15. But long story short, would you take Aaron Gordon? But you guys don't like Aaron Gordon. I think I heard your answer. Freezy said no. Art said no.
No. My consideration is so I don't just say no in a vacuum, or I don't say no with a broad brush. What I say when I make the decision, I make it based on what the roster looks like and what you're looking to do by acquiring a guy. So if you're looking to get more athletic and power forward, say if you're looking to space the floor more with athleticism as opposed to shooting, then I'm not opposed to Aaron Gordon. It's just what are the other pieces going to look like around him is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? So if you want Aaron Gordon, who are you moving? You know what I mean?
I'll trade. One of the first things I'll do, I'll look to trade Bobby Portis. I will look to, right now from here to Thursday. Well, the draft is on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep, on Wednesday.
I'll trade Bobby Portis, and I will trade. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, I don't really want to trade DSJ, but just for today's discussion, I'll say DSJ and Bobby Portis, and the 27th pick. Let's just say, Bobby Portis, DSJ, and the 27th pick to trade up from 27 to somewhere in the 10s. I don't know, whatever. Just that I would do that, and then I would trade down from 8 to 15 to have Aaron Gordon, and look to have somewhere 2 picks in the between 10 and 20, something like that. But that's not easy to comprehend the way I said it. But
Another thing would have to be involved.
Gordon and Julius Randle. And maybe you keep Alfred Payton for a year. Maybe you keep him. You say, you know what?
I was with you till you said keep Alfred Payton.
I don't.
As soon as you said keep Alfred Payton,
if I have Rondo, I'll have Rondo. So if I can have Rondo, I'll take Rondo. But if you can't have a Rondo, and if you can't have,
how this team is set up,
like I'd rather get so many other points. Like
I'm looking to
crazy.
We're looking. We're having a conversation right now. Who is coming to New York right now?
Call me crazy. I'd rather have.
No, I want to draft a point guard.
I feel like Julius and Aaron Gordon's kind of the same player.
I'd rather have Emmanuel Mudiay than Alfred Payton.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. If we can, if is Emmanuel Moody available?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Okay, so that's a good
He's
conversation.
being funny. He's being funny.
No, but like that's how bad. Like I don't want Alfred Payton at all. Like I'd take.
I think we're going to draft Kira anyways. I hate to say it. I hope we draft Kira, but don't be surprised if Halliburton get picked up. Only because if we keep Julius, it just may be a better fit for what this team is.
It seems like they're focused on Vassell and Okoro, though.
I like the idea of Julius as a backup center. He could.
I want Vassell for sure, though. I want Vassell for sure. That's my number one pick, Vassell. But
Vassell, okay.
With the Knicks, you just never know. Like, damn, I ain't see that coming.
I think Vassell's top 5 in the draft.
I'm with Yella. I'm with Yella said. Yella's like, if y'all want to seize the moment, you can't do it with Alfred Payton. He's a perennial loser. Mm-hmm. You don't want to keep losing. And I'm not calling him a loser.
I don't want to keep him.
He's an old school point guard.
Right. Look at his record. Look at his record overall in the NBA. Every team he goes to has been a lottery team. Every team he goes to. Right, every team he goes to is in the lottery. So if you want to continue to stay in the lottery, keep LP around, right? But if you want to aspire to more, you have to get rid of him, right? It's just what Phoenix was in the lottery with Alfred Payton. Think about that. People point to his stats like, oh, he averaged triple doubles in such and such straight games and blah blah blah. But my man kept his team in the lottery. So. I mean, it's just something.
I'm on board with everybody. I want a good point guard here too. I want a good. I gotta start the conversation where it is right now, which is at worst case scenario. Right, this is where we're at.
That's the worst case scenario.
They just interviewed Kira about playing with the Knicks too.
I like it.
I think it's becoming more apparent that Kira's gonna be here.
Right.
Oh no, man.
I hope so, man. I mean, it could be Kira.
I think it's a reach at 8. To be honest.
Yeah.
The fastest point guard in the draft?
That doesn't mean he's the best. Like Darren Collison was the fastest point guard in this draft.
Yeah, but he didn't have Euro steps and he went ambidextrous like
Darren Collison had Russell Westbrook on the bench. He started over him.
Yep.
You got a good point on that.
Yeah, man. So by the end of this week, we should be looking at a team that's totally different from what Scott Mills envisioned when he took the job.
Yep.
I think Leon Rose is going to mold this roster in his image, and it's going to be hard and heavy.
In the minute that we have an idea of the direction that we're trying to go.
Right.
What do you guys feel about Scott Perry? What's your thoughts?
I think he hasn't had a fair shake.
I agree.
I want to see.
Go ahead.
Like he has his flaws, like bringing in Hazonia and Payton.
You got to fill up the roster. I mean, it's a.
Was it Perry that brought?
It had to be because he was the Orlando assistant GM.
Yeah.
The only reason I like it because he brought Mitch.
Yeah, like I know that was his move.
Yeah,
but like if that's your only highlight, like that's not good.
You also it was him that picked up Kevin Knox. Who picked Kevin Knox over Shea Gilgeous? Who was that?
Mills.
Both Mills and Perry.
Was that Scott Perry?
He was here. Yeah, he was here. Because that was the draft initial round.
Shame, man. I just can't believe they didn't pick up Shea.
How do you watch Kentucky and think and you were watching Kentucky and you don't see that Shea was the best player on Kentucky?
He balled out during March Madness. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I just hate that he kept bringing in freaking.
That's why I think Julius is going to stay because they brought Kenny Payne in. I think that Kentucky pipeline is real.
I don't know.
Hold on. There's another thing too. The Knicks had a chance to trade down from 3 to because Atlanta really wanted the number 3 pick, and the Knicks had the chance to trade down for Atlanta's 8th and Atlanta's 10th. But between Mills and Perry, they
Mills wanted to trade down, which I wouldn't have agreed.
Mills wanted to trade down.
I'd rather have RJ. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Who wanted RJ? That was Perry.
Perry wanted RJ, and Mills wanted to trade down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mills was the one who wanted to re-sign Morris. Mills was the one who wanted to trade for Rozier.
Right.
He wanted to trade for D'Lo.
Yeah, and you know what the
And all those rumors died when he got fired.
I think the biggest mistake he made, and I think it's an overlooked mistake. We could have got a first round pick for Noah Vonleh before the trade deadline, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
We could have got something, yeah.
And so teams were offering a late first round pick for Noah Vonleh, and at the end of January, Noah Vonleh got hurt. And so holding out on Noah Vonleh cost us
balling that season.
A late
Yeah,
first
he was
round.
balling.
He was balling that season.
No, and you know what other the year before they they just let Kyle Quinn stay. Like they could have definitely traded him.
Yeah.
Courtney Lee. Yeah, they had deals for Courtney Lee and Kyle Quinn, and they balked them.
I didn't want to cut Freezy off. I want him to make his point, but Noah Vonleh was balling that season. I can't believe they didn't get nothing.
He wasn't part of our long-term plan.
Right. I think Charlotte was offering us like the
Philly wanted it. Philly wanted them.
Charlotte wanted the first. Oh my god!
And so the year before that, I don't know if y'all remember this, but so we trade Kristaps Porzingis to Dallas, right? And so we get these veterans back. We get Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan,
Yes.
a bunch of dudes that basically amounted to expiring contracts. But so instead of us trading DeAndre Jordan to Brooklyn when we could have got a second round pick for him, we kept him. And instead of trading Wesley Matthews,
that development though, I think Mitchell needed that development with DeAndre because Mitchell couldn't stay on the floor.
right?
So I understand the DeAndre Jordan. That's different. But Noah Vonleh, he was giving us almost 10 and 10 every game, and that was a breakout season.
But what about Wesley Matthews?
Wesley Matthews just wanted to be out.
I think it was like too close to the deadline. Like people weren't going to give anything for him.
Right.
Like they knew like the Knicks were going to that was close to the buyout.
Right. I think we could have got something from Portland. I don't know.
Right.
He wound up going to Indiana, I think, but I think
he went to Denver. I think he went to Minnesota. I think he went to Minnesota right after that. Minnesota.
No, he went to Indiana.
Yeah.
He went to Indiana.
Yeah. But we could have got something from Portland. And for the sake of establishing goodwill throughout the league, we just released him to let him go wherever he wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? Which at the time felt like a good move, but now in hindsight, I'm thinking, man, you know what? You know, maybe we should have got asked for like a second round pick,
right?
And you know who they picked that second round pick in that year, right? The following year, Gary Trent Jr. So I'm not saying that we would have had Gary Trent Jr. What I'm saying is that, you know, sometimes, you know, when you don't make a move, it winds up backfiring.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or how about the time Phil could have got Jay Crowder in the Tyson Chandler trade?
Yeah.
It was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I think that's why
we can give you Crowder.
I think that's why the Knicks overpaid for Marcus Morris' contract. So that way, if they want to trade him and get a future first, that he'll be okay with that because he has a good contract and he won't feel like we got over on him. But instead,
what happens with Carmelo now that they got Rocco?
Oh, I didn't even know they got Rocco. I gotta go. I gotta check.
So what's their lineup now? So it's Nurkic.
They're talking that he wants to be a starter. He wants to be top dog now.
Hey, otherwise, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Noah Vonleh was a piece to build around. What I'm saying was his stock was super inflated, and we should have got something when his stock was high.
Yeah, but we paid him too cheap.
With the point that I was making.
Yeah, so many playoff teams would have took him though, because he actually defended Giannis pretty well.
Yeah.
But so Portland has Nurkic at center, Rocco at power forward or small forward.
Yeah.
CJ and Lillard.
And you don't think they'll promote Simon?
They can still bring back Melo.
Yeah.
Why not?
I honestly think
because that's another defender.
Yeah, I think he's the missing piece in Portland for them to, you know what I'm saying? Because they were rolling out guys that were super small trying to defend wings, right? Like Anthony Simon and Gary Trent Jr.
Who?
Was Miles Leonard the power forward?
No,
he's in Miami. He's in Miami, right?
No, in Miami.
No, I thought he's in Portland.
They have Zach Collins or whatever.
Zach Collins. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
No, but they had Leonard like a while ago.
Yeah.
That's probably why he thought he was.
But so they're really breaking up the Houston Rockets right now, huh? So they traded Rocco, so that means
Yep.
Who they got
Tucker's,
back?
They got Trevor Ariza and 2 picks. One's like top 12 protector.
Right. So that means they're breaking it up.
Blazers all in next year.
So otherwise, the Charlotte Hornets for some reason had an affinity with Noah Vonleh. I think we could have got multiple seconds from Charlotte. For some reason, Charlotte
Charlotte didn't want him. 76ers wanted him.
No, okay.
That's true. I remember that.
Yeah, because Vonleh came from Charlotte. I think
that was before
right.
Would that take Tobias Harris?
No. Even though it's my guy from
Long Island.
One of my friends details his cars. Out of Long Island.
Hey, shout out to the Long Island, man. I got family out there.
Him and Danny Green, LI's finest.
Oh man.
And Wally Zerbiak.
Oh my goodness.
No, he went to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
So any unexpected moves by the Knicks this week?
I think Christian Wood. I think they really after Christian Wood.
I hope so, man. I need something to look forward to. Like they can't come back and like with Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Remember you saw that rumor?
Yeah.
That may be another pickup too.
What?
I would say this, man. If the Knicks don't get anything accomplished today and go into the draft with the hopes of getting something done on draft day, I think it shows you that our front office is inept. And the reason why I say that is because you never really want to back your own self in a corner. If you have to go in a corner, you want to feel like you're backed into a corner. You don't want to just retreat to a corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals where if nothing gets done today, like if you don't see any smoke from anywhere, any trade done, anything like that from the Knicks, I think we'll probably be in treacherous territory. Not saying that we can't overcome it, but it's a weird place to put yourself knowing you have more assets than anybody in the NBA.
And I'm going to say this. We'll know everything we need to know by the end of Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, so also I wanted to say something to my man. Coach Fa asked me if I would come on his show for a little bit and help out with some draft stuff. So I don't know if I'll be available to do the draft stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do draft stuff live because I don't want to talk about other teams for 5 hours. But what I would like is to do a Knicks recap of like what our day was about, like all the potential moves, why we kept Elfrid Payton and then drafted Tyrese Halliburton, and then what I'm saying, all like moves like that. So Wednesday I'll probably jump on around the same time so that we can talk about that stuff. But y'all be ready though, because the Knicks fans will be buzzing around that time. You know, this is our Super Bowl here because we never make the playoffs, so the draft is our Super Bowl.
So
right?
sick of the draft, man.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I'm so sick of getting disappointed in the draft.
With the 8th pick, Tyrese Halliburton.
With the 8th pick, the New York Knicks select
RJ Hampton.
Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey. and say some weird shit like we're gonna turn them into Draymond Green. That's what the Knicks do. We'll draft Sadiq Bey and be like, yeah, we saw some Draymond Green traits in him. You know what I'm saying?
Or I gotta say though, if we trade for Aaron Gordon, I still want a future second round or a future first round. We can't
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
You can't just give me. I mean, maybe they'll take Bobby Portis. Maybe they'll take Bobby Portis' contract and they'll say, "We'll give you Aaron Gordon. We'll take Bobby Portis. You take us. You take." Why
are they getting rid of Gordon though? He has like such a good contract.
Well, it's something that they've been wanting to get rid of. It's not something that we want. It's something that they wanted to get rid of.
Do you think we may exercise Porter's contract?
To give it to Orlando, man.
$15 million is a lot.
It's only 1 year for Orlando.
What was that?
It's only 1 year for Orlando. Orlando made
Yeah, I know, but it's still $15 million. Like $15 million for a guy who's off the bench just to stretch the floor.
Right. Exactly. So, who y'all talking about? Davis Bertans?
I'm talking about Portis.
Power forwards don't play any defense. Like I don't know what power forward plays defense. Gallinari doesn't. Bertans doesn't.
Christian Wood does.
Yeah.
Christian Wood is just more. But I mean, most power forwards people are looking for outside shooting and knock down shots. They're not really looking for like.
I don't think Gordon's that good of a 3-point shooter, though.
Gordon's terrible at 3-point. You got to put that Christian Wood. It's like it's inevitable. Christian Wood or Jeremy Grant. It's like inevitable.
Yeah, one of those two stretch the floor.
Right. Jeremy Grant. Hold on, Jeremy Grant. We're looking at 20 mil off the rip, right? That's easy off the rip. 20.
17. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, 17 to 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
I wouldn't hesitate. But I think starting is going to be 20. I think the starting
for who?
For Jeremy.
No, I don't think so.
Nah,
that's too much.
Well, you see the Nuggets move Gary Harris or Will Barton. They're definitely making money.
Gary Harris getting traded this year.
I wouldn't mind getting Will Barton.
I like Will Barton. He's a good scorer off the bench.
You give me Will Barton, I'll take him.
I think they're gonna try with Gary though, because Gary gets paid more.
Yeah, he gets paid a lot, like a lot.
I think Gary Harris getting traded this year.
I don't know. They don't have guard depth right now. Anyway, they don't have. I think they have Monty Morris.
I like
Gary Harris.
Monty Morris is a good player.
Yeah.
He's on such a good contract.
I'm counting bodies. Like how many cats do they have to play? You know, so they have Monty Morris, Gary Harris, Will Barton. I would probably try to keep that team together. I think they lost to the Lakers. I think they lost to the Lakers because the coach didn't make adjustments. I don't think it's because of a lack of talent.
With Jeremy Grant opting out, can they afford him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have his bird rights. So
if you're the Denver Nuggets, would you go
after? We could go over the cap to sign him.
They're going to a luxury to sign him. You think?
I don't think they're close to it yet. Hold on, let me look.
If you can't resign Jeremy Grant, if you're Denver, would you look for Aaron Gordon or no?
Aaron Gordon makes a lot of money.
No, 17.
So right now, Denver's at 104.1 mil. So if they give Grant 20 mil a year, it's still not the luxury tax. I think luxury tax is like 130 something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess he is going back. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is that they still have Porter on their rookie contract. So they're good.
Yeah, they're in good shape.
Because they're not gonna bring out.
That's not fair. What Stephen Fox just said, he said where Nuggets are picking, they can pick Jalen Smith
Yes,
Right.
it could.
I see, and so I'm in that group that feels like there is talent at the back end of the draft. It's just in role players. Like if you're looking for a star, you're not going to find a guy back there. But if you can walk away with Jalen Smith, Jaden McDaniels, and Desmond Bain, or Tyler Bay, or Zeke Naji, I mean, to me, I think you fill spots 8, 9, and 10 on your roster with high quality, high upside guys that maybe in a year or two are going to be major contributors. You know what I'm saying? You don't draft Jalen Smith and Jaden McDaniels to contribute right away. You draft them to add them to your bench and develop them, and then that way you can backfill your roster with cheap talent.
Yo, why does NBA Draft.net have Neesmith at 20?
I like Neesmith.
I don't know.
God, man, I like it. But I was gonna say one reason I thought Gary Harris might be
trade up for that. I get my 27-38 so fast.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say one reason I thought Gary Harris might be moved because Will Barton, he was killing last year, and they also have Michael Porter Jr. too. So I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. is gonna start next season, but I wouldn't mind having Will Barton, who is also a great defender and who can also score. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? You need, $20 million. You can use that on Jeremy Grant. I mean,
is Detroit really trying to get rid of Christian Wood if they're going to get rid of Blake?
It's not their choice. Like Wood could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like technically, Grant could go anywhere too. But like, why would he leave a championship competitor?
He's in a good situation right now.
Yeah, he's in a good situation.
He's played in the West Coast all his career.
Yeah, like that's why I think Wood's more realistic because he's in Detroit, and nobody wants to be in Detroit.
Right.
And if they draft Jalen Smith with Jeremy Grant, that's a good team.
Yo, don't forget they have Bull too.
Right.
Yeah.
Nuggets. Yeah.
Nuggets is making moves.
They're making that's a power move.
Damn, Will Barton. Am I looking at Will Barton?
Will Barton,
15 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 almost 4 assists.
That's why I'm shocked. I don't know what happened to him in the playoffs.
I don't think he was injured, right?
Yes, right?
He was injured, I think.
Oh.
That's why they lost. They needed that one more piece.
That's what it is. After that bubble, I'm like, I lost track of what's going on, and I'm like,
I ain't gonna say that's the only reason why they lost. I mean, I'm gonna give the Lakers some kind of credit.
Freezy, Will Barton is a problem.
Right.
He's a big problem.
Hey, but you know who else is a problem? Anthony Davis.
No.
I'm not gonna give. I'm not gonna say.
Look at how much they lost by though.
Will Barton and you have Jokic together, though, and Jamal Murray. Yo, that trio, those three guys. You gotta. Yo, he was killing last season.
I'm only saying it in this sense. I'm not saying it in the sense that he's not a good player. I just don't think the Nuggets were up to the challenge of the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, Will Barton would have made a big difference in the playoffs last season. He would have made a big difference.
I'm looking at it right now. The first game they lost by 12 points.
Michael Porter Jr. Wasn't in the playoffs. Like Michael Porter Jr. is a great talent, but he's not as ready as Michael Porter. Michael Porter Jr. would have still scored 15 or 20 points, and he would have been. He knows how to work the system. He knows how to work that Nugget system so well. When he's
they're gonna be a problem next year because Porter Jr. is probably gonna get even better.
Big piece, not a small piece.
And Ball too, I think.
Yeah,
hey, would y'all pick up Swaggy P?
No,
he wasn't even. He wasn't even in the
league. Nah.
Swaggy P.
He said Swaggy P.
So let's get Jeremy Lin, Swaggy P, Michael Beasley.
Yeah. I mean,
what about Jamal Crawford?
I want to put something real quick, man. So
I wanted Jamal Crawford. He's a good veteran to have.
Yeah. Hey,
Lou Williams is on the market too.
Who?
Lou Williams.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
But they want too much right now. This team, the Knicks are cheap right now. You see how cheap the Knicks fans are. They don't want to trade nothing for nothing. You have to give up pieces. You have to give up a draft pick, and Knicks don't.
Lou Williams is a free agent.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna want a lot of money though.
Sweet.
He's a 6 man every year.
They said he might go to Dallas.
Sheesh. Yeah, while the Knicks are just sitting on their asses, not
You think he
doing
might go to
anything.
Miami?
Right.
You think he might go to Miami?
Who?
Lou will?
Nah.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, because they have cheaper options that are better than him. Like I wouldn't sacrifice Tyler Hero's development for Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they loaded. They loaded. They good.
Yeah. Duncan Robinson, freaking Kendrick.
So I wanted to just say something real quick. I want to throw this. First of all, hey, y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button so that we can continue to do stuff like this. This is dope, man. Cats hit me up all the time talking about how this is super dope and they appreciate it. The other thing too is, so I got some interviews coming. I got two that's super under wraps. I'm working on the NBA player. I don't want to say what team he used to play for and give it away, but he was a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. So I'm working on that. I got an interview up with a Hall of Famer I did today. So it's out there on the channel. I talked to Harry Carson for about an hour and a half. Hey, super dope guy, man. Super nice. Want to bring some more stuff like that to Blowing's Tears. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. So when we do stuff like that, so when I do get those random cats to come on and sit down with us, more people will see it. The next time we do an interview, I think what I want to do is in a limited format is have a couple of people on from Knicks at Night while we do it. The only thing I got to figure out a way where we don't trample the guests half to death. You know what I'm saying? Like when we legit bring them on, put it in a format where the guests can legit answer questions and feel like you know what I'm saying, they're not being trampled and stuff. So I'm working on that. Y'all got anybody in mind that y'all like to see on the show? I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, Freezy, Art, Ralph, y'all have a good night. Tonight was fun. I need to get some rest.
Cool.
Man, get your ass in here.
Hey,
we're about to wrap up anyway. Hey, Teddy, you got any idea who you want to have on the show? Within reason. I mean, don't be hitting me with no LeBron James. I mean, come on, dog.
I was gonna say somebody like somebody who got like a nice. I was gonna say somebody who's already part of the circle, like Sim or somebody to hop on.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a good idea.
Something that could happen.
You know who I was thinking, man? I was thinking about, and I hadn't started, and I don't know him like that, but I was thinking about seeing if we can get a cat like Rod Strickland to come on and sit with us for like 3 or 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that knows the Knicks, knows the point guard position, you know what I'm saying? Been through the ringer, all that. So I was thinking about it. I hadn't reached out to anybody, but I'm just talking about somebody in that vein where
Larry Johnson.
Yeah, somebody that's far enough from the game where they can sit and view it from a fan's perspective, but somebody that also played at a high enough level that they can kind of school us to the inside and outs of the game. Right. So, and it don't necessarily have to be, and it don't necessarily have to be a Knick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just some. I'm thinking. I don't know. I know some people, and I may be able to get some people, but I think I may be able to maybe get a cat like Tom Hammonds, Alex English, some old school guys,
right.
And also like see who's out there right now. Yeah, John Wallace. I think we can get. I think John Wallace is easier for us to get than what we.
John Wallace might be the easiest.
I don't know why I said Steve Novak. Man, Steve Novak worked for the Bucks, right?
Oh damn. But I want to say something, Freezy. I used to see Rod Strickland back in the days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he used to because I live close to the George Washington Bridge.
Right.
So I used to across the bridge. You can see Rod. You used to be able to see Rod Strickland go to the bank and
right. Right.
You gotta try to get
team in Jersey,
like Nate Robinson or like David Lee.
Jamal
Crawford.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, I can't. Me. I don't guarantee anything, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even really want to do that.
Wouldn't be terrible.
Huh?
That's a good crew, man. That was a good draft. Well, that when we drafted David Lee, Shannon Fry, Nate Robinson,
Right.
that was a you know we. Nah, I didn't do IS 90. Nah. I think I know people who did IS 90 though. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta get up early in the morning and start doing this and start working on this stuff for the guests. So, but I do have another guest book, MLB All Star, that I'm gonna try to get on Lawrence Tears, and y'all welcome to come through for that. That'll be more of just a general sports thing. It won't be Knicks at night. So, but yo, I'm gonna get off this thing because I gotta get up early. Work on trying to get some guests in here.
Because
you can't
take it easy, man.
Yeah, you can't have like art on here. You know what I'm saying, without having guests. So you know how that go.
All right, y'all take it easy, all right?
All right, boss man. We'll holler at y'all. Y'all be easy, man.
Peace.
Later.
All right, peace.
Freezy, you better have me on when you get that NBA player.
I know this. I gotta pay the bill somehow, dog. You know what I'm saying?
How'd you get Harry Carson? How'd you get Harry Carson on it?
Huh?
How'd you get Harry Carson on the interview with Harry Carson?
Just know people that know people. You know what I mean? So it's one of those deals where, and plus he's a super nice guy. And most of the people that I talk to, man, they're just flat out good people. So, you know, it's one of those deals where just sitting around reminiscing about what they used to do back in the day.
He was hating on my guy, though. He was hating on Joe Judge.
It's more to the story than that.
Yeah, I know.
It's more to the story than just the thing the thing with Joe Judge. But anyway, hey, I'm gonna go. Hey, thanks everybody for coming through, spending some time with us. We'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Yep. Peace.